Dire team pick.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's pick.
There's profit.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Dire's pick.
Earth Spirit.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's ban.
Bad Rider!
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Dire's ban. Dire's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's pick.
Warlock.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Who's it gonna be? Places, everyone. "30 seconds to go." And they're off.
Loaded to the gills!
Radiant on one side, Dire on the other.
What have we here? fool's first lesson is his last. What have we here?
Someone's having technical difficulties. About time.
My thrift rewarded.
Road rash.
My wood slate.
Dyer's bottom tower's getting the business. Dyer's structure's looking fortified.
Loaded to the gills.
The Dyer best do something about that bottom tower. towers getting the business. Guess what's happening to Dyer's bottom tower? Dyer's bottom tower got blown to bits. Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Dyer's top tower's getting beat down.
Denied!
What's with all the scribbling? Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
My thrift.
Dyer's mid tower won't last much longer. The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid tower. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower seen better days. Dyer might want that whole top tower.
I think I swallowed a frog!
Dyer's top tower, you know the drill. Two down. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. Dyer's mid tower's having technical difficulties. Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Dyer's mid tower won't last much longer. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
What have we here?
bottom tower. The Radiant Portal goes down quick and clean.
Regeneration.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Dire's top tower, you know the drill. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. The Dire might want to mine their top tower. Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Dire's lost the top tower. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
Haste. What have we here?
My thrift rewarded.
What have we here?
Illusion.
Set
Two down.
Soft.
I'll drink your pulp.
Them dire buildings are tough as nails for now. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. One last top tower.
God giveth, God taketh.
Oh, so beautiful.
The great wheel turns again.
The dire best do something about that bottom tower. Tower's getting banged up. No breaking down the radiant structures like this. Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Thank you, my beauties.
Radiant's bottom tower's in better days.
Ashes. Set in stone.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Radiant's mid tower's in trouble. How about that? Radiant's toughened up their structures. Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Dire's bottom tower's getting the business. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged. Radiant's mid tower's getting the what for. The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. How about that?
Extra crispy.
Haste.
Mine.
What have we here?
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Of God.
Somebody's 7 in a row. How about that?
Behold the answer to all these questions.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. One last top tower for the Radiant. Radiant's top tower's hurting. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. The Radiant got one last top tower.
Where's my pension?
Mine.
Trust me, I know how to handle such power.
How about that?
Penance.
That's 4 in a row.
Best.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right now. Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Because of the Bat Rider. In fact, Fog specifically ended that cast talking about the fact that, look, the combination here just seems too good by VICI.
Big.
I think that VICI is playing like how normally Liquid plays, in the sense that they're not getting rattled. It's the enemy team that normally makes these crucial game mistakes against Liquid because they're afraid to play against them. Well, VICI, it feels like they're willing to take every single fight, and they're not scared at all. They don't care about the hole or the deficit that they're in. They just continue to battle. I really like that overall from them. And I think that Liquid has to be a little bit more patient this time around. The general rule of thumb, of course, you shouldn't always follow this though, is the first Aegis is meant for map control, so that you don't have to force things. You don't really have the items to go high ground quite yet. The second Aegis with the cheese is generally where you want to go for the high ground after that.
We don't even see teams like Complexity who are kind of known for trying to force things. Even they chill out on the first Aegis, so it was pretty surprising that Liquid were kind of ensnared.
I feel like if EG didn't 2-0 those teams in record times the other day, I feel like Liquid would have cooled their jets. Like they saw other teams stomp, they're very confident because they're so talented. They had such an advantage, they felt the advantage, they really thought they could take the push. I feel like it was something.
Really like how far this VICI squad has come since like the beginning of the year where they got 2-0'd by SG.
Yeah.
And now they're in a position where they could potentially just 2-0 Liquid, get to the finals of their... How many times in a row have they been in a finals and lost?
They've been in 3.
They've been in 3.
During the DPC, yeah.
So the talent is clearly still there.
Yeah, they've always just fallen a little short at the end of a tournament.
They're not drafting too differently here. They open Elder Titan, they let the Naga go through. They'll grab a Viper.
So do you think, Kevin, that's like, again, to address the laning phase, how to beat the Naga Siren? So instead of Chen, we're going to have ET. It is one of those heroes that definitely wins you lane.
Yeah, but the Chen wasn't too bad in the first game, in the laning stage, was it?
But Chen falls off. You know, Chen in late game is not so good. And Chen, at most, could send somebody back and then be like, all right, kill me next, let my allies go, please. But Elder Titan at least can win the lane. It's not as convincing as Chen. It doesn't allow you to push and disable as hard. But he can definitely outbully the Naga Siren. He can also provide a really strong team fight and anti-team fight, which is something you might...
Is the fact that they haven't banned the Naga suggestive, perhaps, Will, that they feel like whatever they play in place of Naga is worse?
I think they think the Naga is not the problem. Right. And the crazy thing is if they lose to it again, that would be... I think for a lot of fans, they'd say, like, well, why didn't you just take out the Naga? But I don't know how... Like, this is something that probably have to talk to Kuro directly to, like, figure out why they think what's happening is happening.
And I'm not saying Kuro is this way, but captains do have that blind alley they go down sometimes saying, it's not that, it's not that. And it just becomes one of those things that you just can't move past, doesn't it, sometimes?
Oh, for sure. And that's something that all fans should know, is that it's never as clear as just like, oh, this hero is in and it's the consistent factor, so that's why they lost.
10 seconds to
these guys are really good at evaluating most of these. But of course, they're not infallible, and the great captains especially are very prone to this kind of stubbornness.
And again, they get the gyrocopter. Good BKB core, which I think is pretty important here. Again, we talked about the timing of VICI gaming, the Chinese teams in general. They get the Death Prophet again.
Run it back. Woo.
Yeah,
same
well,
game.
This is basically 3 games out of the 5 they've played at this event. They've started with the same 3.
Okay, well, there's no initiator that gives you the same kind of advantage that Bat Rider does with the Death Prophet. So at least that part of the strategy will be a little bit...
Yeah, that's basically what they've identified here, isn't it? Pull the bat out, it doesn't have the...
Are they going to brood again?
Yeah, well, why not? Brood wasn't the issue, was it?
A little, maybe, but
yeah,
not
I mean,
really.
like you pointed out in terms of itemization and timing and what have you, but early game is...
Problem with like items like rushing butterfly and stuff is it doesn't really, at that phase of the game, it's so early, it doesn't feel like it makes as...
Just give them a Chikura this time around.
It's like building. Like an attack speed and armor and evasion item. Better when you have more HP.
Oh, they're gonna go Disruptor.
You know what game that reminded me of? That I don't know if you guys remember, it was Fnatic versus Liquid at TI6. They were really far ahead in game number 2, and they had like a Sven lineup against Dro, and they had an Axe, and instead of going for BKBs, like both MC and Matama Man decided to go like Heart and stuff.
5 seconds.
And they just got crushed in every single one of those
They're
fights.
like, we'll get those later game BKBs.
Yeah.
Those are the real game winners.
Just one more damage item. This will be okay.
Okay, so
I'll just kill him faster.
Would you have still been fine if Disruptor was on VICI Gaming here?
Yeah, I would
So
have been okay
you're
with
still
it.
set on that, like, fine Gut Viper.
I like Disruptor a lot though against Naga. It's like one of the best.
Yeah.
How about the clock?
Clock, it matches up really well against the Elder Titan and the Viper. It's pretty annoying to play against, but it's meh against the Disruptor, although it cancels the Jug.
It's a big Fenrir.
Isn't it
10
kind of mad
seconds to go.
Why do you think it's good for?
It's okay. You force him to get like 4 staffs.
I feel like Viper has plenty of money to spend though. Like he got SNY last game. I'm like, does that even help? I don't know. Hurricane Pike.
Pike would have been really nice.
At the least, it could threaten Viper getting killed easily in a 1v. But later, yeah, I agree. Clock's just okay against Viper.
And we haven't actually talked about is this Clock the other support? They just run it
You would think
kind
so.
of 4 or 5
They
positions.
usually run it as a 5.
Yeah, I think there's no way this is off.
Lanham has played it a little bit. Fenrir played it a little bit. In fact, Fenrir has played quite a lot.
So cool, by the way.
10
Like with
seconds
VICI,
to go.
Mikasa's just sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
He just
And telling everyone to shut up while he
5
decides the bans.
We were walking by their thing, and he has like a laptop set right in front of the players, and they pretty much just watch him the entire time, and he's just pointing at various things, saying like this.
But Jug for Liquid. Now, interestingly, it was this game last series they played each other that VICI Gaming pulled out the Jug. Bratsy had an MVP performance on it.
Jug's very good against Gyro at most stages of the game because Gyro usually rushes a fast BKB. Omni Slash cuts right through that. That can be a nice advantage. Same against Death Prophet if she doesn't deals.
And that's exactly what VICI did to Liquid last time, because it was Liquid that had the Gyro Disruptor PT.
Do you
and VICI used the Jug?
Are we set that this is a control last pick, or are they going to give like Miracle a different?
I think that's a miracle Jug. I think you give Mind Control more of a playmaker than you do in the Viper last game.
Seem to do fine, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, this is just like if they pick up their offlane Mind Control hero, it's just a whole lot of fighting, not necessarily power taking possibilities here, and they're just like directly contested.
Like the way that I see Liquid's lineup is they're picking a very similar draft. They're just focusing it a bit better for team fight and late game. Like Jug can win the early game and push really hard with Healing Ward. Viper can win his lane, push, but the supports are more team fight focused. So I figure you grab a ganking off lane, something that can set up those late game kills. Because they don't really have a good initiator. Okay, completely. Win the lanes and push, I guess.
It deals direct pure damage against that Gyrocopter. He hates that. Hates it. Death Prophet can at least like dual scepter.
10 seconds to go.
He's pretty vulnerable too. Like, there's not very high HP heroes on Liquid. In a lot of the games, you've seen tanky strength heroes against Death Prophet, but now it's mostly agility heroes. The only tanky one is really Viper.
What do you take here? Your VICI? Take like NP or something? Try to...
What about Ursa? Can they fit that in any?
Offlane Ursa?
Works good against Viper, against Enchantress, against...
I thought if you would just give more sustain to your Prophet Gyrocopter against this single target focus of Liquid.
Oh.
So it is offlane Claw?
Yeah, has to be.
Or
Fenrir is the only AA player in it. Will be, I don't know. By the looks of things. Your friend
That's
11 will be clocking it up, Cap.
I always like him on like super aggressive heroes. I don't like him so much on like the Enigma, like slower, like big. I want him.
You want something in their face.
Yeah, he is sick in that regard.
Okay, Kevin, which way are we going?
I think I'm gonna go with not the biggest fan of it. Liquid has very few stuns.
I'll go Liquid again.
VICI Gaming, similar reason to Kevin. I feel like there is actually so much magic damage they can lay into this Enchantress. They're going to shore it up with Elder Titan, but I just don't have faith.
Okay, all right. Well, you do have faith because he's on the right team. We are headed back to our commentary duo who are ready to bring you our second game in the semi-finals. You ready for this, gents?
Absolutely. You know, game one, we saw sort of the power of VICI Gaming. Game two, as I said, I'm expecting Liquid to sort of step it up to another level. They got beat down pretty hard after what was a dominant laning stage in game 1. So this game 2, they've changed it up. What do we reckon, Bob? Do you like what approach Liquid's taken this time?
Yeah, I like with more to pressure the lanes more and have a bigger advantage. They didn't go for this cheese this time around, and they did heavily focus on 11. I think he was the biggest problem in that last game. They also thought the same thing. They give them the Naga, they give them the Gyro, they give them the Death Prophet, but they took out the Bat Rider early on. So I'm actually looking forward to see what 11 can make happen as this clockwork.
Absolutely. One of these off-lane heroes that we sort of see be very hit and miss. A lot of people, a lot of pros favoring it in the position 4, but as you said, with the way that the draft went, VG maybe potentially feeling this was one of, or if not, obviously the best option in their mind left in the off-lane pool for 11 to get his hands on.
It is that super aggressive fight starter. So a little similar to the Bat Rider, you're not about mispositioning them, but you're about just engaging and starting those fights. And you're always going to get something in the off-lane, it's the nice thing. You can cog block the wave, and you'll be able to get a decent spot for yourself to get an actual position and get some farm for your levels.
But the thing as well, of course, for VG, last game, they got the victory this game. They do have 3 at the same people on the same heroes, the Paparazzi Gyro, the Lanham Naga Siren, and the Ori Death Prophet. Obviously a bit of a different game, Liquid changing things up quite a bit. They do have more potential for those team fights now with Kuroki and GH having a much heavier team fight presence with the Disruptor Elder Titan combo.
Yeah, I see Liquid this time and I'm like, all right, this time they're not just trying to cheese their way to victory. They're going to just try to outskill. And we've seen Liquid at their top performances. They are absolutely incredible. But VICI's been putting up unbelievable fights.
This is what we want to see. We want to see Liquid tackle VG Gaming head on with some proper Dota 2. And we've certainly got it with these lineups.
For this one.
Expect a lot of battling, a lot of fighting. We'll see how much sort of contest we see over getting favorable lane matchups. At the moment, nothing really too surprising from Liquid.
11's going to try to just pull the wave here. Got to be a bit careful. He actually goes for the Rocket Flare level 1 to pull the wave.
Go for the kinetic field to hold him back some time, but of course won't put a stop to the way that 11 will still be able to get the full pull. Get that entire creep wave was safe.
Yeah, it seems like they were just like, you know what, it's a clockwork, 760 HP, even with spin, even with any type of harassment, they can't kill him. So Kuroki's just going to follow him and give him some annoyance, and Miracle's just going to blast it under the...
But looking at the other lanes as well, any lane in particular that they think a certain side's going to struggle?
Mid we've seen is kind of a trade between the Viper and the Death Prophet. DP just is hard to gank. So I think the top one, the Gyro in theory should struggle. The Gyro and the Naga Siren if they start getting chased down too far. GH has to be careful here.
They do, they've got that chilling touch here, and with the root control as well, they surround him. That's your first blood for VG Gaming.
Don't think he expected the level 1 net.
Absolutely not. Only that Riptide being held onto by the Naga Siren, but Lanham there with the outplay. Required skill, required time in that.
And also a really excellent approach coming out from VICI is blocking that hard camp. This is something that we've seen time and time again, is when you're playing versus that Enchantress, the best way to deal with it is to block that camp. And also, not even just versus the Enchantress. A lot of teams haven't really taken this approach, but versus the Elder Titan, if he doesn't have that camp to actually stack up and abuse the Spirit to get that damage, you're actually able to take such big advantage of the lane. So I really actually like this approach with safe lane. Take back what I said. My control and GH will have some trouble here until GH starts to stack up the Astral Spirit.
Bounty. A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
He stacks up, but build up that GH punch as we'll look to try and move around the lanes a little bit. Bottom lane, Miracle CS still pretty much perfect. 11 trying his best to disrupt it. And 11 is getting decent farm out of the lane himself, as we can see with that 9 to 5 on the clock side. Those early level from that early level from the pull through, certainly helping out the block keep good. Mid lane, the go being made onto Matuma Man. The root comes in. Ori and Lanham close the gap. Verifier will be popped. Is it enough to keep him alive? It's not. VG get themselves a second kill with the rotation of Lanham. And in a lane where Matuma Man was already suffering, 14 to 6 against the 7 for 1. And it's one of those awkward positions because last game we had Mighty drop Viper mid, and I'm pretty sure he was actually trading even CS.
He was dead even with the Death Prophet.
Matuma Man struggling there in the 1v1.
Getting the double null on Ori this time around, giving higher base damage.
They are going fully in onto Paparazzi. They've got that enchant slow. GH coming in with the right clicks. Paparazzi will be brought down. Now they turn their attention towards Fenrir, but Lanham's there with the root, holding GH down. GH trying to get himself into the tree line to safety, will escape, has the salve, as he gets himself back up to full health. Will be cancelled by the illusion. He's coming back in. He's looking towards Fenrir, trying to punch this AA down. One more touch from Mind Control will do it, but Mind Control is rooted up. Kuro's come in to try and help out Mind Control. They've got the Astral. They look for the sleep stop. They catch both, giving time for Liquid to attempt to disengage, but the TP across from Fenrir. He's back in the game. Looks towards Kuro. Kuro with a quick glimpse back, taking Fenrir back up to that top lane. Kuro's now surrounded by Ori. They have the kinetic field down for Kuro, trying to get himself out of there, but the damage is too much. He'll lose his life. Mind Control has the sad eyes, looking towards Lanham. Lanham will be able to get himself away.
Kuroki makes the approach and just decides, I'm not punishing this clockwork at all bottom. I'm just going to leave Miracle in a 1v1 and pressure the other lanes. Got to make up for the rotations that Lanham's been doing. And they were actually able to take a little bit of advantage and go for that paparazzi dive because they did stack those camps. So the Astral starts adding up, and they were able to actually find that one creep for Mind Control, that Wildkin. Different.
Mind Control now able to get a bit of CS. He looks to try and close the gap. Another blast onto Fenrir, bringing that AA down low. Kuro was looking for the glimpse play.
Once they get more levels on the Enchantress and the other Titan, it starts to become a much safer lane to pressure paparazzi.
They're looking for the setup onto Mind Control. I've got the homing missile inbound. Lanham looking to close the gap with the root. The kinetic field's down. We'll put a bit of a stop to VG's play, and GH is there as well. Turn towards the three of them, looking for the setup with the Storm. Has found the vision onto Fenrir. They'll get the glimpse back. They surround the AA. They punch down one, but the play is coming back from Paparazzi. Rocket Barrage. Enough to dispatch of GH. VG find the 1-for-1 trade. Support for support. Overall, though, that main sort of play benefiting Liquid. The disruption, it's slowing down the farm once again for the Gyro. Sure, we saw last game Paparazzi making the recovery. He's certainly going to have to do so again, as bottom lane, Miracle against this clock, having no trouble, finding pretty much free farm. 30 CS on this jug at the moment at 5 minutes in.
Levin's finding a lot, though. He's going to have a very early level 6 on this clockwork. I believe he's getting close to phase boots, or he already has phase boots as well on the clock. I think they're flying out on the ground of the courier, though.
Top lane, Lanham. The vision onto Kuro, root as well, buying time for Cold Feet to kick in. Paparazzi's there with a wraparound to pick up the glory. Gets the kill. This combination, this Lanham Fenrir, AA, Naga Siren being very active very early on.
2-2-2 on the AA, 1-0-4 already on Lanham. Constantly putting vision up. That was the biggest thing for me in the last game in particular, was the way that VICI was able to just fight around their vision constantly. And they are actually able to spot out that Liquid puts the board up top with the initial one.
I mean, I guess the question is, as well as you say, 11, he's had this fantastic farm down on the bottom lane as this off-lane clockwork. Is he just going to be full-on looking for the plays now? Level 6, well, who do you ideally want to be finding now as this clock?
The Viper. You can transition into a push too. We see that Ori has skilled up the Exorcism, but they could easily look for a dive play here. Kuroki is in position for it, though.
Yeah, we'll be there ready to quickly glimpse back the clock.
They're pushing in the wave heavily, though. They lose the siege creep. Still looking to get aggressive.
If they can find the angle. But Summer Man is going to get run out here with the battery assault. 11 saving the hook shot so that he can go back in after he's glimpsed out of the play. They do find the 3-man sleep, though. TP's coming in, Miracle with the Blade Fury, turning towards Ori, looking for the chase down onto this Death Prophet. He's going to jump in instantly with that Omni Slash as he pops the Mango, has the mana for the ult. They get the trade there, a mid for a mid between these two teams. But overall, I think Liquid, they'll be slightly happier there as they do shut down that Death Prophet after she's popped the Exorcism.
15 seconds into the Exorcism. And now this gives space to Mind Control, because the way that the Naga Siren's been running around the map all the time, Enchantress is able to get so much top because those high levels in Untouchable and high levels in heals. Once the level 6 comes out, Paparazzi's going to be really in some trouble.
GH back up here, ready to put the pressure on. We've also got Kuro back in the neighborhood, looking for potential wraparound. They'll go for the sleep setup onto Fenrir, but not looking to dive in as of yet. Mind Control, a few creeps away from having that 6, then he can look to start to get more aggressive. Bottom lane.
They're looking for it.
Won't be able to find him. 11, TP's out. Unbeknownst to Miracle, Miracle didn't quite have the vision for him, but a quick sweep of the tree line will confirm the suspicions that 11 has backed out of the lane.
11's just relentless in this series. Again, he instantly has Clockwork Hook shot up. He instantly TPs to the Shrine. He's looking to get aggressive and punish top lane.
Look at top. They've already got a homing missile on mind control. This wraparound coming in indeed from 11. Looking for the rundown onto GH. He now makes a beeline straight away from mind control, trying to cause issues for this Enchantress. The cold feet kicks in. Paparazzi's still alive. Should dig down to the Thunderstrike and will do. They lose the gyro, but VG, they find the Enchantress in trade. 11 looking for the chase down. Still has that hook shot. They found the vision onto Kuroki. The sleep stop though from GH holds back two of them. Ori still trying to dive. There's the hook shot from 11. They're closing onto Kuro. And look at 11. He's already looking to try and sweep around for GH. But GH too speedy. GH will make it away. Bottom lane, Miracle continues to farm. Quick TP back into the game from Paparazzi as he heads down there to put a stop to this push. Ori being watched by GH.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Paparazzi, just like the last game. You see he's bottom 5 net worth already in the game. It's going to be all up to Ori and 11 to really make the moves and just catch that gyro back up, or getting through those team fights. So you see them now moving the DP a little bit and actually having Naga take mid, get some levels.
I mean, so far so good from 11. These rotations on the Clockwork being very, very nice. And we're seeing as well just sort of the composure. He runs in, he doesn't blow the hook shot at this start. He makes sure that he can save that until the very end of the gank to sort of help find that second kill. Now he has got the urn done.
It's really smart the way he's been saving the hookshot. Just like you said in the mid lane. He's waiting for those glimpses, those ways to kind of mess his movement up so they can close the gap afterwards.
Miracle down bottom. Has got the invis and he also has the Omni Slash. They're looking for a target. The big one would be Paparazzi. There's the glimpse, trying to let Miracle close the gap. There is a creep wave, so Miracle will wait for that, but the invis wears out. Paparazzi knows what up. It might not save his life, though. The Blade Fury clearing down these creeps, bringing them down low. Paparazzi separated, and there's the jumper with the Omni Slash. The bounces are good. Miracle will find the kill. The root comes out, but GH is there with the sleep to hold back Lanham. Healing Water's well up for Miracle, so Liquid will stand strong and get away with that kill.
Paparazzi's really sad in this game. He has to pretty much come back through team fights now in this game, because the way that all the lanes are set up, he doesn't really have a home. Top now, though.
11 straight in with the control. Mind control, he's stuck. The cold feet's going to kick in. The pushback from the cogs, the slow but sure slap down with the spanner from 11. Finishes him off as this clock continues to make the plays. And then Ori. Straight in, Viper Strike from Matuma Man. He's looking at manning up. They have got the Blade Fury damage as well. Yeah, Miracle with this haste rune just zipping straight into the middle lane. Takes down Ori.
And he runs right back bottom.
Clarity back ticking up as he looks to refuel himself. Miracle certainly stepping things up this game. 4.8k top net worth at the moment on the board.
They're just looking to continuously punish this gyrocopter. Look at mid. Disruptor's already here for the glimpse.
He's found the setup here, straight back into the stomp. There will be the cooldown coming out just in time, but the damage from Matuma Man and Kuro is too much. Paparazzi will fall yet again, the 4th time on this gyrocopter, as Liquid continue to punish the carry.
Stop bullying.
Go for this smoke there to create that extra bit of speed, but it gets dispelled immediately. Kuro, I don't think he's getting out of this one. He hasn't got a TP. Lanham and Ori will be there. So Kuro will fall quite deep behind enemy lines. Try his best to spend it before he goes down. Top lane mind control, continue to farm, of course going straight for the 4-staff in this game against 11's Clockwork.
When Fenrir's got 6, they've got the kill here.
Oh, and straight in. They've got the setup. Hook shot. There's the Ice Blast flying in onto mind control. No sort of heal's going to save him. And again, these sort of combos, whether it be between Fenrir and Lanham or 11 and Fenrir, they get the job done every single time. Dom not going to quite catch on to Ori. Miracle, he has got the Omni Slash back online once again.
They've definitely still got some Jug and Viper problems. They're top of the net worth board, and Paparazzi still not even close to being recovered.
Miracle, of course, with his phase, Yasha and Aquila before getting the Battle Fury, giving him this potential to fight at this stage. Quite the potency. Anyone that he jumps on with a quick Omni Slash and then the movement speed with the Blade Fury chase down, thanks to that Yasha phase boost, he's going to find the kill. Ori,
mid lane.
He should be jumped on straight away. Miracle just playing so aggressively here. This Jug utilizing his advantage. VG, they have got the wrapper and they've got 4 heroes here. But with the Blade Fury, Miracle just starts to chase down 11. They've got the stomp already into the static stomp. They're managing to set up and surround Lanham on the Naga-san, who will fall as well. The Viper Strike slows still onto Paparazzi. The glimpse from 11 taking him to the side. The Clockwork's in trouble. They will throw the Ice Blast down to Miracle. Miracle will fall. 11's still alive for now. Matuma Man and GH trying to focus both Fenrir and Paparazzi. 11 will learn up. They'll actually keep the rest of them alive, and now VICI, they're looking for the turnaround. Homing missiles, cold feet, onto Matuma. Ori's back in the game. He has the silence on the GH before the stomp comes out. VICI, they'll turn the play around mid.
Catch Paparazzi back up heavily, needing those 2 kills. 24 kills in 13 minutes.
And it's this sort of coordination that brought VICI back into game 1.
Yeah.
Team Liquid, they've got to be scared of these sort of plays coming through, because VICI are so damn tight with that team play.
Yeah, they have to be careful of. They have to be really careful of the comebacks because of the low respawn times that are at 13 minutes. They actually ran out of mana on Matu there, and they find a solo pick off there. Fenris.
Kuro just getting caught out multiple times now as he tries to come out for these warding missions. Gotta be careful. 15 to 10. Liquid still with the net worth lead. As you can see, all 3 cores of Liquid ahead, and Miracle very much so, as he still leads with a sizable advantage to the top core of VG's lineup on this Juggernaut. The last death that he had in the mid lane, a little bit painful.
Liquid's gonna have to itemize with multiple force staffs here to deal with this clockwork, because he's been having a great time. And it's gonna be a really good force staff game anyway, because if you look at VICI's side, they don't really have a whole lot of disable besides that clock. It's clockwork, hookshot, and Naga net, and besides that, their catch is pretty minimal.
Not Hunt, but knows that the force staff is now there on mind control, so he can no longer sort of go for that hookshot ice blast play. Tag team of Fenrir get that kill. Mid lane Miracle, Omni Slash back up in a couple of seconds. He is nearing on hitting that level 12, so ideally would do so before the fight kicks off, but the fight's already here. They've got the setup, the sleep, the Death Prophet Exorcism coming out as well. Ice Block thrown down straight away onto Matuma. He's trapped there, but Miracle, he gets the chance for the Blade Fury. He's looking for the chase down onto Paparazzi. Paparazzi will fall. Miracle, he levels up the ult, jumps in with the Omni Slash, the extra bounces, getting in the kill on Ori. They've got the stop down as well. Fenrir will fall. Miracle will lose his life. But Liquid, they've found 4, they've got the glitch back, they're going to find 5, 11 tries to TP out, he's not making it home tonight, Liquid!
GH in the perfect positioning there. Everybody slept on the side of Liquid, but GH says we've got that mechanic as well. Sleeps everybody on VICI, him and Kuroki get the perfect setup in the back lines there, and they're able to turn the fight. Just like you said, Omni Slash gets leveled up at the last moment there from the kills, so he's able to get the extra bounces to finish up the kills there. Absolutely perfect there by Liquid.
We'll see it again. Just sort of this commitment at the start.
On 3.
It looked like it was going to be great for VG, but not dispelling the song straight away meant that that initial Ice Blast damage didn't hit onto the Viper, so Matuma was safe. And look at Miracle's prioritization. Straight for Paparazzi, levels up the ult, jumps in those extra bounces, allowing him to get Ori. And then, as you say, Liquid's there with the backup. GH has got the setup, and then the fight's over.
And again, and this time they have the force staff, so they distance the Viper into the backside, so he's not able to get bursted down, and the whole fight turns around on.
4K lead now for Liquid. Still though, a very close game in a match where VG, they have shown the potential with this team fight once again. But Liquid, 11 off the mark there with that hook shot. Timmerman will get a free pass for now. But a lot harder for VG to sort of go for that team fight as we're seeing with the Juggernaut. Really seems to be the crucial pick here. A hero that can react to that. A sort of setup. He's got the Blade Fury. He's got the ways to play around. Lots of damage coming out from Miracle. Closing in on that Battle Fury.
It's a hero that's just so damn good versus Gyrocopter, because there's just nothing you can really do. If he just runs at you spin, you just have to run away yourselves. Omni Slash, of course, is going to eat you alive. Kind of have to take a halt here until they've got Exorcism.
Ideally, they want that BKB to be down the jar as well, but that is going to have to take quite a few more moments for Paparazzi.
I like the item adjustment by My Control. He's recognizing that VICI's damage is pretty much strictly magical besides Exorcism at this point because of how shut down Paparazzi is, so he's actually going for BKB on Enchantress.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, who's going to right-click? Sure, the flat cannon can still be a bit of an issue, but obviously with a Jar at this stage of the game, there's no way that the right-clicks from him outdo the heals that the Enchantress is going to have from her attendants. Emre been caught out on his own, will turn with a quick Ice Blast, but that will be the death of the AA. Ori actually trying for the counterplay here. He's chasing this with the Exorcism, the Crit Swarm bringing Matuma Man down low, but he can't quite get a lockdown. Matuma Man's going to be able to get out of there, and that's Exorcism being blown, and it's not going to get anything productive done with it.
Kuro glimpsed 11 completely out of the fight there too, so it looked like VICI was trying to set up, but their only real catch, like we're mentioning, it's majorly on 11 to make those plays. So as soon as Exorcisms pop, they have quite an easy way to disengage without that clockwork there.
The Battle of Fury for Miracle, so already this Juggernaut that's clear 3K ahead of the Paparazzi Gyrocopter. He's going to get even further ahead now as the farm will step up that extra bit more.
And they know Exorcism's down right now too, so they can take advantage of that. They can try to keep punishing VICI.
Smoke up. 11 will be found out. Kuro waiting for the perfect time to make sure that the control can be there to get him into the field. And he also knows that the Solemn's coming through. There's the glimpse back, holding 11 close to the Juggernaut, not quite close enough. VICI, can they do anything off the back of this sleep? It doesn't look like they can. The Silence will come on to one VICI. They have Paparazzi heading forward. They're looking for Miracle, but Miracle turns with the Omni Slash straight into the midst of them all. And Miracle falling very, very low. Can Paparazzi get to kill the Flame Fury? And the Healing Ward. Miracle's still alive. And with a sleep stop from GH, they're looking for the turnaround. Liquid, they found two. They're trying for more 11s there with a hook shot. Will hold Miracle back. So VICI get the remainder out of there. A 2-for-2 trade there between the lineups. They couldn't quite find Miracle. That would have been such a beautiful kill for VICI to get, but they couldn't quite do it.
That low cooldown on spin to get it back up in the middle of the fight. And GH, again and again in these fights, he's getting the perfect sleeps on the three main heroes of VICI every single time, it seems.
The Ancients being stacked up. I believe they've got a triple stack at least at the moment on Liquid. Some more money for the taking, ready for Miracle.
Uh-oh, look bottom, 11. Rotation from MC.
He's on his own. Mind control. Going to start punching into him. But they'll get the 4-star play. They're trying to get Kuro out of there, but 11 will still find the kill. Costs him his life, though. Gets the support, but loses his life there as the offlaner. The quick Hurricane Pike from Mind Control sort of buying the time for him to chase around Kuro and give that extra bit of momentum for him to punch back into him with the impetus. Miracle very close to having the ultimate orb on his way to the Manta style.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
It'll be very hard to control in these fights. The root will not be much of an issue for that Juggernaut anymore.
They've had a hard time dealing with the Healing Ward too. Even though they've been getting the AA blasts in the start of the fights, the fight continues on for so long that the Healing Ward kicks in after that debuff wears off.
Loaded to the gills.
Still on the hump. 12 seconds and Omni Slash will be there. He's got his eyes onto Paparazzi. He is playing incredibly aggressive, and he can certainly get away with it for the most part. Quick Blade Fury as that homing missile is no issue for the Jug. And Miracle's back out of there.
He was just in there by himself. VICI, they do have Exorcism now available again, and they are getting closer and closer to those BKBs, like you were saying. The Gyrocopter, about 1,300 away. Ori, just about the same.
19, but that net worth difference being the overbearing issue. The fact that those cores of Liquid are really farming just that little bit better. This Juggernaut getting absolutely out of control.
Level 17 on Jug, level 13 Gyrocopter.
Turn towards those Ancients. Put him very close to having that level 18, that third point in Omni Slash. We've already seen how much these bounces do in the fight. Manta style complete as well for Jug. Everything's coming together. VICI Gaming, we've seen them turn around from a lot of worse situations as we did in game one, so definitely still with a chance here if they can get that team fight together. Femrit closing in on that level 12.
They have to heavily rely on the Exorcism this game, though, because Paparazzi being shut down, and this time they don't have, you know, Warlock ulti or anything like that to really just close that combo together. It's a lot harder for them to actually keep the heroes of Liquid inside of the Exorcism.
Look at that as well. They rocket flare bro, so VICI know that Liquid's in there, and Liquid know that VICI know. But Liquid, they're standing their ground in the pit.
They're coming too fast. You know, GH also scouted them with the stomp.
They've got it. There. They've got the Aegis into the hands of Miracle. It's gone. Nothing that VICI could do to stop it, and now they're going to lose some members. Femrit gets grabbed back. Does get the Ice Blast down onto 3. The Femrit gets chopped down. Miracle picking up more gold for his bank account. VICI just left to split up without their AA. That crucial Ice Blast that they require for these fights to be successful, they have to just wait and accept that these towers are going to be gone for the taking.
They need to get like the perfect executed fights, but it's so difficult versus Liquid's hero with the innate Jug with spin, just being able to immune versus the majority of their catch. And they're soon going to have that BKB on the Viper as well as the Enchantress.
jug pick really was
the jug
a big
picks
one.
really worked.
A lot of the times as well, we see jugs being drafted in situations where it just feels a bit off. It feels like a hero that sort of is a last resort carry, but this time you can absolutely see the vision when Liquid picked it, and so far it's absolutely working out.
In particular because of how active he's being on the hero.
Yes.
Sure, you saw he's gone for the Battle Fury build, but getting that Yasha early has led them to have so much momentum into now this mid game. For VICI, they're still just on recovery mode. They're so dependent on that exorcism.
KB on Ori. This was sort of picked up around the point where we really saw stuff change around in favor of VICI in game one.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can do with that BKB when he turns up to the fights.
They've got the level 12 on Fenrir now too, so a bit more damage coming away. Still looking very hard to deal with just that. It's a majority of that Juggernaut. Everybody else seems like it's tolerable.
Pushing out bottom on his own. That Aegis very hard to punish VICI. They will go for the smoke. Almost certainly going to sweep round behind. They don't want to necessarily go on the jug. They want to try and find the backup that Liquid are sending in for the jug.
The Spirit just hit somebody though, so GH pings it out right away.
GH is fully aware of this. They're bringing TPs down bottom. Liquid, they probably want to take this fight if they could.
They have to bring everybody down here though. They don't want to take a nug. Not into Exorcism.
Going for the quick sweep around as they did go for the scan. Saw that VG came in and out of that area on the high ground at the Dias half of the map. Wondered if they'd entered into the jungle, but as it were, VG obviously aware that Liquid knew of this movement. They weren't going to find anything.
Playing very confident, pushing out all three lanes constantly. They're not letting VICI really group up and take that head 5v5 fight that they do want to go for now when they do have those fresh BKBs.
The Meteor Hammer picked up it. Naga Siren, so that combo, that setup, we saw come into play. We have seen come into play many series beforehand. We will get to see once again today. Miracle, 500 gold, and he will have a butterfly complete. See here, Miracle getting a chance to hit Priest that much more, nearly twice the amount of gold that Paparazzi's been able to find from his own CSing.
Unbelievably farmed on. VICI a bit afraid too, still, because they're versus that Aegis. They don't really want to get caught off guard. They're all sticking as a unit, and because of that, they're falling further and further behind in both gold and experience. Very hard for them to fight that they want.
Very close to that very sort of dawning point for Paparazzi Shara, where Miracle is about double the net worth. One of those games where Miracle just goes absolutely off. He was not happy with that game one. He is very hungry to push this series to it.
Walking up on the high ground by himself.
Got the Aegis. Feels safe. He's got a full one. He's got the Manta. And he knows that VG are going to be very cautious about jumping in on it.
And he knows that they're very limited on disables, as we've been mentioning. Now, stuck in their base. You see Paparazzi, he's trying his best to find farm on the map. Still very far behind, though.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Just slowly trying to shove those lanes out, but having to do obviously so much more cautiously that Miracle can get away with. Shara much more vulnerable to being punished by any sort of rotation.
This time, though, you can feel also Liquid, they don't feel as rushed. The last one, they got the Aegis, and they went straight for the high ground, and they got wiped. This time, they've got the Aegis. They're using this as a farming Aegis. Keep that advantage ticking forward more and more. They're now at a 13k gold lead. Over a 10k experience as well. Aegis does get reclaimed. And VICI, they want to be able to get some catches with 11, but they're just really unable to at this point. Playing a farming Clockwork where you don't really want to be doing that. When you're playing Clockwork, you want to be constantly looking for these kills, but because of how on the back they are, can't really make these moves. Ready to respond constantly.
It's certainly been one of the problems why, with the Clockwork in that sort of core position of state, not necessarily one of those offlaners that scales that great as the game goes on. You have to make plays, you have to sort of get that overarching advantage very early. Otherwise, 4 stars BKBs come into play and the clock can just be ignored.
And you can tell that VICI's really feeling the pressure and feeling under the gun. Paparazzi has queued up the rape.
He's queued it up. We'll see if he gets there. Would be quite something.
He absolutely needs it. They've got their only damage, like we've been saying. It's that exorcism. Everything else is mostly countered by Liquid because they can just distance themselves and kite around that exorcism.
BKB. Pretty much done for Miracle. One more bounty rune, and Timmerman will be gracious enough to let Miracle take it. And that will be the BKB done. Oh, he's changed it back. Jara.
He did change.
He's got the butterfly queued up. Disappointment all round. We want to see that rapier. 11. Gets Tim's back. There's a quick play. Hook shots back in. And after a bit of a dry patch in terms of kills, 11 will be finally there. Break it. Shed some bloodshed out of Kuroki.
It had been quite a while, been almost 6 minutes until actually happened on the board. It was just Miracle taking towers.
This sort of slow pace, as you say, though, definitely favoring Liquid's lineup.
Yeah, with their tri-core. Everyone's staying relevantly farmed. Sure, you see Miracle skyrocketing at a portion where we don't see besides like, yeah, this looks like Alchemist levels of farm. On his own. But his other teammates, they're still keeping up in farm a bit. Yeah, this Jug is just
I mean, it really feels at this point, the rest of Liquid could sort of DC and let Miracle finish it. He's just that far ahead. The fact that he can go up and take a tier 3 without any sort of answer. Like, the rest of the team have done his job. They've made that space for Miracle. You know, the fantastic sort of rotations and reactions to that of VICI's plays have led to the point where Miracle's just been allowed to get this incredibly massive.
VICI, who had this type of juggernaut game during the group stages too, versus with brought you a taste of fun.
Every lane shoved down.
Full Basher now. He's getting items pretty fast. It's almost 6 slotted at 30 minutes.
It has to be one of the most farmed jugs in a while. 800 GPM. 3:30-minute mark. Got to be up there in the books as the best.
VICI, they're trying to catch back up. 11, he got that solo kill on the Disruptor, but besides that, they just seem a bit afraid to take the engagements, take those head-on fights. Ori is about to be level 18 for that level 3 exorcism, but they really want Paparazzi to have that one big item because Bay's BKB drum gyrocopter it's not threatening.
Nothing again. The Basher on its way out. Look at that. He may be level 23, but he says, guys, I need the time. Got that outcome into him. We'll see if he takes it. He might give it to someone else.
No, he takes it.
He wants to get that 25.
He wants that 25. He wants those Omni Slash strikes.
It's a lot of +5. That's a lot. That's a lot. Halfway through 24. He's going to get it very shortly as well at this rate.
It does look like Liquid is trying to take a fight here now with a strong Miracle.
See what VG can do. They've pulled off some phenomenal team fight execution in the past.
They still don't quite have the butterfly finished on Paparazzi. But they've got the level 18, they've got the level 3 exorcism. And he's pretty much got a Shiva's Guard if he can ever go out and buy it.
Kill this Jug. Really is the question. Paparazzi. Oh, he's scared. Oh, the smokes to the Dispel. But Timmerman aware something's in there. I mean, it doesn't matter. Paparazzi will TP out immediately as soon as he sees Viper turn up to the lane.
They have Miracle under vision here. Their big chance here to try to go for.
It's got Mantra and BKB. Can they really do this? Quick patch onto Naga. Lanham, he does have the stop if he needs it. They'll push back, but Miracle pots the BKB. He's just going to turn a fight back into them. Jumps through. There's the Stomp as well coming in for the sidelines of the rest of Liquid are coming in to back up Miracle. The Earthsplitter comes out, takes down the Nagasara, and Miracle will heal himself back up to full after the Ice Blast wears off with that healing ward. They just can't kill this Juggernaut. He's got 25k net worth. He's got the same net worth as both Ori and Paparazzi put together almost.
They popped ghosts. They popped everything for that to try to bring him down, and they still couldn't. And now he's full health, and they're ready to push. No ghosts, and they've got the rest of their heroes now. Not looking like VICI can stop this Jug.
Trying the best with a cooldown to D-push. Siege creeps are still up there, removing that backdoor protection if Liquid want to go in. Well, looks like Liquid are going to respect them. Back off. There's sort of Miracle refuel as he is low on the mana. Big items coming out though.
Committed for the butterfly.
anything will help that little bit for VICI at this stage. Shiva's guard, as you say, finished Paparazzi. He has got the gold for the complete butterfly. But those items will be picked up for the 2 cores.
Second Roche, the one that Liquid wants to end the game on here. The Aegis and the Cheese with this level 25 Juggernaut.
I think VG feel they have to contest
yes.
this. They cannot hold a push against an Aegis Cheese lineup that Liquid have.
They don't have their Exorcism though for 60 seconds. That's their big team fight right here.
It's so hard for them to get in. Maybe they can go for a steal. At this point, if you can throw away the clock slipe and get the steal.
All-time Juggernauts.
I'm not surprised about that. This really is one of those games for the books from Miracle. He's played it absolutely perfectly. As I said, that game 1 definitely riled this boy up. He was so hungry for victory in this game too, and he's not been blinking at all. He's just fully focused, fully into the game. And this is Miracle playing at 110%.
Then it's back to Naga. They pop the BKB, and Naga can get the Aegis and Cheese because of the glimpse.
Disrupts it. BG can't get in, and Lanham, he's trying for the TP out. There's the stomp from GH. Lanham will fall. And with no Naga for 50 seconds, Song expended as we just saw, but perfectly ripped away from them with the play. And at this point, Liquid, they're just going to A-click down the lanes. They do have the Ice Blast, the cooldown, the Butterfly, and the Gyro. Is it really enough, though? Miracle cuts his way through the cogs. Blade Fury to dodge that missile and straight in onto the racks. 11, quick with the 4-star to keep his distance. Siphon does bring Miracle down fairly low. Quick jump back, but he's got the healing ward. Viper Strike comes in onto Ori. Matuma Man being focused by Paparazzi. They're bringing him down low, but the Cheese comes out. There's the setup. They move in. The Earthspinner as well, ripping VG apart. 3 to 4. Ori, he's in trouble as well. The Crimson Guard, the Siphon, is it enough? No. The impetus, pure damage. Fights through the guard. Takes him down. GG is caught. Liquid, they woke up here in this game too. They showed they came here to play and will be pushing this series to a game 3.
This game was Miracle with no mercy whatsoever.
Absolutely not. As I said, this is Miracle playing at his full potential.
He was making the moves for his team too. He's like, all right, I feel like I need to make some roaming moves. He roamed, he got a haste from bottom, runs, kills Ori mid, runs back bottom, continues that farm. He had an impeccable performance on the Juggernaut. And
Dire's ban.
Okay, do we depart, Kevin, from the norm between these two? Because we've seen 5 games between them now over the last 4 days. They've all felt fairly similar in terms of the way that they've both drafted and whether they've drafted the other way. You know, we saw the Jug versus the Gyro, then we saw the Gyro versus it. We haven't seen anything crazy so far. Is this the game?
Maybe. I'm not sure, I guess. It all depends on how the openings go, like who gets first pick, how that adjusts based on the first bans. It's kind of like a well-known maze that only the teams know because that's what they're playing.
Dire's ban.
Way of explaining.
Liquid are refusing to give them both the D and Gyro.
Radiant's
I was thinking about that. I think they actually set that up where they're like both Gyro and Death Prophet, both of them very susceptible to the Juggernaut.
The Clockwork definitely fell into their hands, though, because the time that VICI Gaming went for it, it was against the Nyx Assassin, which is another hero that can't really contest the enemy carry very well. Very similar for both games, actually.
They beat the Naga, too, which I think was huge for them.
Yeah, it's a mind block gone, isn't it?
They demonstrated, like, okay, guys, it wasn't the Naga. Kuro said, I think the Bat Rider is the bigger issue, and I think ultimately he was correct.
Especially since they've gone too serious again.
That's what I mean when I say, like, a lot of people say, like, well, Naga's the common link. They can't beat it. Just get it out of the way. Well, he just beat it.
5 seconds.
It's worth remembering as well, they did win one of the best of 3 against the Naga. It wasn't like they couldn't beat it.
I'm still okay with VICI Gaming Naga Siren. Because again, I think their team fight is so good and it looks that much better with Naga Siren. You could still get a different lineup around it.
Do they do it again here?
Would you say that that Liquid beat it with any particular? The hero I was thinking was Elder Titan, and they banned it themselves. So what do you think in there? Are they going to let him get Naga? Are they planning to think Naga will get through? Like, Will, why don't you think Naga is the important hero?
I think it's good, for sure. It's just, in this meta, like, there's so much that, even though it feels as though the 3 bans on each side are enough, it really doesn't, because people are finding abusive ways to, like, play heroes. I think that it's also a draft advantage, too, if you can consistently beat the Naga and you can just keep baiting it out. And if you personally don't think it's a problem, but the enemy team thinks it's the reason why it's winning, it's a pretty big advantage, right? Like, VICI's in a weird position right now, because they're in the idea of, okay, well, we've gone this far with this hero, it's consistently won. Do we really give up on it at this point? And Liquid might be on the sense of like, oh well, we're past this hero. We don't actually think that this is the reason why you're winning, and in this best of 3 kind of like, it'll prove who was correct in their assessment of that.
The bat has gone.
I think it's really hard though in these positions, just because first pick versus second pick, these kinds of things too, and Liquid very clearly looked comfortable against it, but VICI, and like I said, they've won with it so much.
We have such a strong focus on lanes. The Bane has been left out there this time around.
Yes.
And
very popular with...
that is a hard hero to beat. A pure damage nuke that also heals him up.
Do you think VICI are willing to take the Disruptor second this time around?
Either setup, I guess, but I feel like they'd be too vulnerable. I think this is the longest delay for a 2-3 pick.
Chen.
But he's recently.
Yeah.
Oh, it's to block the gyro.
Yeah. Because they could, and they have done in the past, take Jug Naga first. Dissuade them.
Yeah, this is the miracle hero that will hopefully, regardless of like what late game situation you run into, will win the game for you. And I think Liquid play a lot better behind that anyway.
What about Tiny versus PL?
It's okay. The tempo's alright. When's the last time VICI picked it?
I was going to say, not something. Till there was...
But first you probably have to guard against the Chen. Like, I think you would deal with that problem first.
Radiant's ban.
In fact, when they played SG, they played it in all 3 games, and they lost one of those, Will.
Good switcheroo.
High armor. It'll be difficult for PL to kill him. Drain his mana, but it'll go Soul Ring, so...
And splash damage.
Dire's ban.
Yeah. Very helpful. Honestly, DK carry, super impressive all tournament.
Stand down. It's currently 70%.
Like, Yeah, you don't want it to be your solo carry. It's like a secondary core. It still looks really good at like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's incredibly tanky. The teamfight aspect of it is very strong. His stun is really nice. All of his talent scale. There's no weak aspect of this hero. The laning is also very good because of Dragon's Blood.
Would you say he works well enough against Chen though? I feel like if you hit him like level 1, level 2, even level 3.
Yeah, but it's more that the meta has geared towards the Chen going into the off lane that I think he's somewhat comfortable. And there's not a lane that you really get wrecked in as a DK. He doesn't really care too much about what you put against him. He feels like Zeus in the sense that at worst he trades out.
So you take away Viper for the break aspect. Is there any other mids that you would be worried about?
10
Will?
seconds to go.
Death Prophet or something?
DP is kind of annoying. Shadow Fiend is problematic as well, but there's a very good chance that this is just straight up like a PL mid.
Because the matchup is...
Yeah, I don't think they care about this matchup very much.
In which case you're still looking at maybe like a Sand King pickup or the Beastmaster, talking about first series as the coupler.
In an ideal world right now, what Liquid will do is they'll run some kind of dual lane mid, and then they'll dual off lane, and they'll put Matama Man in a hero situation one-on-one up at top, where no matter what, he's always going to be okay. Which is why VICI, they very smartly, I think, banned the Lone Druid. This is one of those heroes that doesn't really lose any straight-up matchup.
10 seconds to
Maybe
go.
the Batrider's okay against it, but Liquid already banned that in the first phase. And I think they realize the Batrider's annoying for us when it comes to the draft, because if we take if VICI takes Batrider, then we don't get that guaranteed like Matama Man will be okay in this lane kind of situation.
Kind of like the Razor problem.
Yes.
Huh. So Earthshaker.
So I think that it's really hard to find a support that matches up against Naga Siren that can be a threat,
10 seconds
right?
to go.
Because otherwise you have like a core trying to counter a support in that regard. And that's why I like what you said about Disruptor being a pretty good hero versus Naga Siren. I feel like Earthshaker could be one of those heroes as well. And that you're just like a jump in, instantly blow up a hero. Either before song goes off or maybe directly on the Naga Siren itself.
Yeah. It's the fissure, I mean, especially if you take the new talent, the range one, it's quite nice at blocking that off to begin with. And this time around, I mean, I wanted it last time, right? When they picked Chen, the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pick it up second pick, actually.
They last picked Earthshaker 4 months ago.
10 seconds to go.
And one with it.
What's the...
That was a weird game. That was a Brew TA Kotl Shaker game. Just in
like
terms
3
of
to 4
against
months.
VICI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your supports are not great.
I'm looking at.
You need a frontliner right now for Liquid. You need something that just runs in, tanks up a lot of attention in dual lane.
Just must suck so bad having to pick Witch Doctor against a Chen, which is good, but there's also a PL. Because when late game comes and there's a billion illusions, you know Cask is like a one-man. Terrible.
Your one job is like getting Maledict possible.
I'm okay with it.
I like the addition of some extra damage, and it also gives you that, like, I have a clear initiation and a good amount of burst.
Yeah, tanking always works better as a secondary initiation.
Yeah,
but really good late game. They get like Sand King plus Earthshaker. They just have to initiate first, find the solo hero chain. It's not Naga. Hopefully it's Naga. So Pugna just kind of shows tempo, right? Pugna, Earthshaker, Chen, very good at pushing towers.
10 seconds to go.
Fight's not bad.
There's always a disengage too with the Earthshaker. And Pugna, it kind of works as a good hero overall. Like, it's very fast. It clears out the illusions very quickly. Nether Ward is obnoxious to fight under. And it's like a nice one-on-one hero to begin with. Nobody really likes the lane against Pugna. I thought they needed some kind of frontliner though for the rest of their lane. I guess Chen creeps are also good for that.
Radiant's banned.
So that now comes from whatever safe lane, off lane here.
Underlord's very good against creeps. A lot of damage there. Pretty good against PL for most stages of the game.
I think one of the big, I've been hating on Underlord a lot this tournament, but I think one big difference here is that VICI Gaming do have very active core in the Dragon Knight, and I'm only going to assume that VICI Gaming is follow that up with another very active, as that has been kind of their strategy whole.
I think if they didn't have Pugna, I'd really like OD. Would.
Dire's ban.
Yeah, the OD versus Underlord. Safe lane. Ugh. Mess. Yeah. Cuts through the Dragon Knight as well.
And to like a lesser extent, these heroes like Monkey King. To that nature.
10 seconds to go.
But they already have PL, so maybe they feel comfortable about their win condition already. They don't feel as though they need a second one.
Yeah, if I'm Liquid, I'm just going to entirely focus on myself another team fighter.
Dire's pick.
Timbersaw.
Yeah, Hero has a really high win rate.
Yeah, it takes away a frontliner too.
What about Death Prophet for Liquid? They fit that in the lane.
Could.
You know that has a high win rate against Dragon Knight. It has a good winner for Lord as well, I believe.
5 seconds. Radiant's
trying to think what else VICI. Oh.
Hello. Where have you been?
Well, that's not the most active.
Is that the first this tournament, Paul?
It's not the first ban. Or the first pick, actually. It has been picked once.
10 seconds to go.
No, in fact, just once. No bans. Just one slight pick, which was in the VP versus VICI Gaming matchup, would you believe, in the group stage. That was also a weird game, though, because that was with Sen.
The odd picks here that I'd be okay with are like MK or OD. But I don't know if Liquid thinks they already have enough like carry and just similar hero.
Lifesteal and Ursa were the two heroes that came to mind for me, but I think Ursa deals a lot better with
than MK?
Than Lifestealer does.
Lane against all the enemy cores as well. So I don't think we'll be doing too much lane swapping.
There's still plenty of argument going. Meanwhile, players are getting themselves set, they're getting themselves ready, so we'll get our final thoughts on the panel. Kevin, which way is this going?
I feel more confident about Liquid's draft. I feel like this at the tempo.
Well?
I think you're going to say Liquid, so I will break up the clean sweep and go with VICI.
What was playing the game? Cap?
I think I am going to say Liquid, because I'm not sure about the Underlord with the Alchemist. I don't know, it feels like one of those lineups where Liquid really could run you over.
Okay, alright, well, we're ready. Hope you're ready, everyone here in the Spodek Arena and everyone tuned in around the world, because this is the final game of the first semi-final. A chance to go through to the grand final for Liquid and VICI, and this is where MVPs are born.
Everybody get set.
Thank you very much, Paul, and I think we're all very excited to see who's going to be the MVP of this game. Game 3, Liquid versus VICI Gaming. And, folks, we've got an Alchemist. No, in the past, there would have been many a time where I would have said, Alchemist, bit of a yawn fest. But this time around, I'm excited. We just don't get to see this hero nowadays.
You're excited for Alchemist?
I am.
Oh, God, what's wrong with you? Never excited for Alchemist. It is a very farm-intensive hero. I don't know how it's actually played because I have not seen this hero in quite a long time. I think they're just trying to match and keep up with the farm versus that Phantom Lance to be able to get that like massive hero that can just stand toe-to-toe with. But there are heroes that are very good versus the Alchemist, between the Pugna and the Ursa. Two heroes are known old counters that actually deal with Alchemist in that early game to kind of run over him.
So what is the plan with the Alchemist? You think, is this VG saying, we are just going to make this game go so late that Ursa gets to the point where he struggles to have a game, we can get to the stage where we're sort of transitioning Naga into a carry? Is that the plan, or are we going to see some sort of a different approach with the Alchemist?
I think we're going to see something very different. I'm not too sure. Yeah. I think he wants to be able to farm the pace of the Phantom Lancer, and I think they're going to want to be able to like use the acid spray to delay the game constantly, and also to be able to secure Roshan with that under. They've got the Firestorm, and they've got Acid Spray. Very good tools.
Maybe he just saw the GPM that Miracle hit last game and said, guys, I got to beat this. I got to show who's who in terms of the carries. Paparazzi says the only way to do that is play this Alchemist. But let's see how it goes. He's going to be in the mid lane against Mind Control Pugna.
Very hard lane.
GH on the Earthshakers there as well.
Very, very hard lane, even if it was just the Pugna as an Alchemist. You have very low armor, and Pugna is one of the best at just harassing, and with this, with the Earthshaker coming in, I think Paparazzi is going to be under a whole lot of pressure here. They're deciding to go for a slight aggro so they can make sure that 11 actually has a presence in this game. Because we've seen this matchup time and time again. When you get these Ursas, these Monkey Kings, this natural 1v1 Overlord, the hero just becomes an absolute non-factor in the game. So they want to secure 11 because he's going to be a very important.
So that's the bottom lane, that's the mid lane. What about the top lane? What can we expect to see there? Is this DK Ori going to be fine on his own?
Until the Kuroki rotations come in. I think he can do okay versus a PL, but once Chen starts rotating in, you start getting way too bullied.
So all these lanes, we're going to say this mid lane going to be very interesting. Something a little different. Paparazzi's got the level in the Acid Spray.
And look at Kuroki right now. He's got the preparation for the kill. The double shard golems and the money.
The amount of rocks that can be thrown out from this combo is quite insane. It's making the move towards Paparazzi. This certainly is the gank, and Paparazzi is getting pretty far up here, so Kuro will have a lot of time to close the gap. There's the initial slow with the Decrep. Oh, look at these rocks just firing through. He'll put the fairy fire, but they will be able to take him. First blood for Paparazzi, for Mind Control as they bring down Paparazzi. Kuro making that rotation, as you say, with this, what are the, if not the most potent creep combo at level 1.
400 damage from a Chen at level 1. Thank you, Shardgle.
Eyes on Kuro to continue to do that. We did see in game 1, despite the loss, Kuro had a very good opening on the Chen. Lanham trying to man fight Kuro here. Kuro trying to hold his ground. We'll have to begin to back off. He's got the first stun coming out. Lanham does have the root. He's going to chase this. He's level 2. Kuroki does take up one of the Wild Rings. He gets the Tornado going, which will start to put Lanham off and also causes his own Mud Golem to split because he caught hold of a new neutral creep. Lanham now being forced into the tree line. GH is there as well. They're hunting. Got vision on him now. Lanham, one more Riptide, and he has got a bit of improved movement speed, but the Fisher holding him in the Tornado is bringing him low. Stick Charge will come out, but now he'll just look. He's trying to body block with a creep here. Kuro can't quite close the gap and get in front of Lanham. So Lanham, I mean, he's making space here. Mind Control will come across. They should get this kill as the Decrepify slow comes through. There's the blast. They will finally take him. But indeed, bottom lane, there's pressure going on here. The Maledict ticking Matuma Man down very low. Will just be able to survive there on 29 HP. Fenrir really wanted to finish that kill, but could not quite. They'll salve up on Matuma. GH is moving into position, may be able to find a Fisher to set up for Matuma Man to close the gap. We'll go for the attempt here, and he manages to get a perfect block off there. Can they close this gap though? Matuma Man getting a couple of touches, does find the slow. Going for this Witch Doctor, 11 trying to turn with the Firestorm, and with the Maledict in the cards, this Matuma Man bear's got to be careful. He's going to pop. Fenrir is still alone for now. GH, can he quite close this gap? It doesn't look like he can, but he's got the Fisher back up. Will come down, will find the kill, but that's Matuma Man being forced out of lane for a long time and still dies.
RNG on the side of VICI there. 4 creeps, but the cask hits Matu twice.
Well then, Lanham wants that creep, and he'll get it. The Ripper there for Lanham. Now Kuro creepless. Lanham will continue to give him a bit of a rundown here. Kuro grabs the bounty rune though. Top lane CS, what are we looking left at the moment? Ori 17 for 1, Miracle 18 for 8.
Fairly even. Miracle is starting to put a lot of pressure on though.
Lanham continuing to chase Kuro here. He's got the extra move speed there. He's going to try for the TP out as the root comes through, and he'll make it in time. Kuro gets out, bottom lane. The cast, the Maledict onto GH will turn, but the combo, the Firestorm Maledict, is going to do quite a bit to GH. Shouldn't be enough to kill him, as he will be able to escape with his life safe. 30 HP on the Shaker. But once that starts to scale up, once there's sort of a couple of levels in that and a few levels in the Firestorm, Maledict Firestorm is going to make many a hero just have to leave the lane.
I'm really astonished at how well Paparazzi is doing in mid. That can be a bit of a punish lane from the Pugna. Pugna is ahead, but I thought he'd actually be a little bit more behind, especially from that first blood gank.
Right. Bit of a difficulty here. Miracle getting aggressive, actually gets the kill. The Spirit Lance damage is enough.
And that's a solo kill.
It is. And now Lanham, I mean, Miracle's sort of turning towards him. He's looking about playing around on this. But he is out of regen, so we'll simply rush back to the creep and keep his distance. But a straight up kill there in a 1v1 situation for Miracle. In a lane where he's already farming pretty well, as we've seen. His boots now picked up for the out. Mind Control has hit that level 6. Top lane. Movement coming in. Miracle is going to get brought down very low with the refund, but oh! He goes for the illusion bait! It's worked! It's worked! Can he actually get out of this though? He turns towards that and will go down to the Riptide. Kuro, can he get the finish off kill? Oh! The mirror image dodge off the stun! Very nicely done from Lanham. We'll keep Lanham safe. And they get that kill on Miracle. Despite his best efforts there with the illusion juke attempt, they get the kill. The same time down bottom, Matumba Man goes down. The level 2 Maledict's there. And this is the point where the damage just that little bit too much for Ursa before he hits that level 6.
This dual lane is doing so much work. Like we were saying, the Ursa versus the Underlord, Underlord can really suffer if it's in that 1v1. So having this Witch Doctor down there constantly is putting a lot of pressure on Matu.
Bottom lane, 11, getting gone on again, but Matu, he's just going to get turned upon, and he's in trouble. He's got the Tango regen.
He's dead.
One more tick and he's going to be gone. And again, as you say, this duo, maybe something that Matumba Man's not laned against before, because he's losing his life a few too many times against this. This Firestorm Maledict combo, the right clicks as well at that Underlord. Very scary at this early stage. Mid lane, Lanham does get caught out by the Fissure. Mind Control trying for the chase, but Lanham will be able to keep his distance, get back behind the tower. Build from Paparazzi this game will be the phase boost into the armlet on the Alchemist to start with, and he's making good time on it now. We'll see this replay again up top. Good attempt from Miracle, but not quite good enough. He does totally fool them there.
They were almost able to get a return kill because of that juke though. But Lanham having those stick charges was enough to...
And Kuro nearly found, I mean, if he gets this stun here, maybe he gets the kill, but look, bam, perfect timing there from Lanham. Jukes it out. 4-4.
About a 1k lead for VICI at the moment. Paparazzi do a great job in the mid lane. Finding himself that regen rune was clutch. Spamming that acid spray. And like you said, yeah, Armlet. So it looks like it's going to be that old standard build, probably the Armlet into Radiance, to be able to deal with that Phantom Lancer.
Smoke coming out from GH and Kuro. They're moving in bottom. They want to punish this aggression that Fenrir and 11 are constantly going for. They've got the Maledict onto Matumba Man, bringing him down low with a quick burst from Mind Control. Takes down the Witch Doctor. They'll surround 11. They've got the stuns from the Kuro army. 11 trying his best to run his way out of it, but the blast is too much from Mind Control. They're able to punish that duo lane that has been able to bully Ursa so well.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
With that sort of play, Miracle continuing to get space up here, heads into the jungle. VG did try and mirror the movements of Liquid there, sent 4 of their own up to top to try and find Miracle, but Miracle keeps it safe in the jungle, moves immediately to the middle lane. So VG will get space to push onto this tier 1 tower top.
Both teams trying to get that tower pressure as best as possible, but unfortunately Mind Control was pretty much out of mana, so he had to actually leave that bottom lane. But top, VICI will get a tower.
Get the push on. More money in the bank here for Paparazzi, as this tower should pretty much give him that armlet. This is that point where definitely a chance for the outplay. Paparazzi actually TPing straight into the mid lane. We'll get Fissured immediately. Miracle as well, trying for a bit of harassment with the Spirit Lance. Paparazzi feeling strong, just try and come in to punch back at this PL.
He doesn't want to lose this mid tower, but he might just lose it anyway, even though the acid spray's down. He's pinging it. He wants his teammates to come help him.
He's not getting any backup for now. This is going to be a free mid 1 tower.
Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
9 minutes in. Relatively early here for Liquid. Take that mid tier 1.
VICI's heavily shut down Matumba though. He's going to be going for what looks like a Mask of Madness build. Catch back up. Might still change to get it online, you know. And it will be standard PL build, just that Fusel Blade. And like we're saying, Alchemist has queued up the to deal with those PL illusions and to keep up the match that farm.
Ori, Crep, Mind Control, closes the gap, easy kill, just waltzes under the tower and takes it. And now GH, he's there as well. Can they look towards Fenrir? GH has got the Fissure back up, looks for the setup with the Fissure. They've got the slow from the Decrep. Mind Control closes the gap, gets the blast off. The paralyzing cast bounce is buying some time for Fenrir. He's looking his best to hide in the trees, will still survive for now. Can he do anything to help turn this one around? Doesn't look like it, with Miracle's rotation coming in as well. Lanham will fall. Liquid get themselves a second kill out of this, and they're still hunting for more. Fenrir getting chased down. Ori will return to the lane on the Dragon Knight. Fenrir trying his best with the juice, but he gets surrounded. Liquid take down another. Now Ori, he's sort of in on his own. 11's coming with the rotation to help back up this Dragon Knight. They'll turn immediately with a stun onto Mind Control and will claim the life of the Pugna. Miracle falling low, but does get himself out of the tower range. Him and GH will back up.
They're losing a bunch of heroes on VICI, but during all this, Paparazzi is just climbing that net worth board. Number 1 by 1,300 now. I'm having flashbacks of the old Alchemist.
Radiant's mid tower.
Yeah, of the old Paparazzi as well. He used to be quite the player on this era. So I'm sure he'll be overjoyed to get the chance to play it once again in 2018, nonetheless, playing an Alchemist. So far, so good. As you say, he's hitting the timings. He's on par for a good advancement onto the Radiant.
Dire's bottom tower is getting the business.
But this Miracle PL is going to get it to that point very shortly where he is going to be a huge nuisance for any of VICI's heroes. The Diffusal Blade being closed in upon, about 1,200 more gold, and it will be there.
They continue to pressure Matu, though. The rotation from just the 2 supports this time actually is scaring the Ursa, because the Witch Doctor's level 6 already. So with Maledict and with Death Ward, surely bring down that Ursa. And they're just constantly just making space for this Alchemist, just farming up. I feel like Liquid. Spot Ori here.
Lane. Quick slow from Mind Control. They get the Fisher Touch as well with the blast. Ori brought down low. Will still be able to run it off. Another blast connects. Mind Control, he's hunting, has another Decrepify. Blast is going to be back up in a second, and Ori still alive. One more needed. They've got the root. They're trying for the turnaround. He goes in with the Dragon Tail pre-fire as well. Mind Control will get punished, but the blast was out in time. So the 1-for-1 trade. Mind Control gets the kill on Ori. Does cost him his life. Miracle continuing to get space in the middle lane as he starts to push the wave right up to the tier 2. Paparazzi's there though with the deep push.
Not about team fights this game. Just looking at both lineups, they're both about just getting their farm up on their individual heroes and then take to the fights when they're large enough, because neither of them really have those natural team fighters. It's pretty much just the Earthshaker and the Pugna on the side of Liquid, while on VICI it's majorly that Underlord and Dragon Knight.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
Relic is almost online. Paparazzi.
Lane. Good root. Cast as well as the Death Ward. GH. He is going to be gone for. Dix will cause him to pop.
That's a pretty big kill too, because I didn't realize how close he was actually to blink on the Earthshaker.
Nevin's out of there. And he won't have to worry too much for those sort of plays for a little bit of time, as he has got the completed hood on the Underlord. Very, very strong against this core Pugna.
Yeah, against core Pugna and Earthshaker, you kind of need Piper a hood. We saw Secret run this combo, how susceptible most heroes are to the burst. It's one-click stun, you get follow-up stun by the Earthshaker, and Pugna does an absurd amount of burst. Shadowblade will be the choice. Dragon Knight.
Dire's lost the top tower.
Liquid looking to continue pressuring this top tower.
Brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant structures must have been fortified.
Head down middle. Paparazzi 500 away
Radiant's bottom tower
from that Radiance.
Right now.
As we can see from the stats, a pick that is very, very rarely looked towards. And even when he has done so, it's not a successful hero. But can Paparazzi show us the strength of this hero in this day and age? Radiance is going to be here around that 14-minute mark. Very good timing on top of the phase armlet. He's on par for the outgame that he hoped for.
Similar timings that we used to see on the hero. Top now though, Mind Control, he's trying to take advantage of all this space, get this power push while his team is also taking Roche.
Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now.
Like we were saying, there's a lot of trade situations that are going to be happening in this game until they get those bigger, more aggressive items like the Blink Dagger on the Ursa, like the Shadow Blade on DK.
For the side of Liquid, they get that tier 1 tower top as well. Blink Dagger finished for the Ursa. Top.
They're even at it.
What is just the moment, just the Morbid Mask.
Gonna poke top a little bit.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom.
See what they can do with this Blink-on Shaker, Diffusal Blade on Miracle. A lot of these fighting items being put together. They want to keep the pressure high against this Paparazzi Alchemist. They do not want to draw this one out.
Yeah, they've got the double blinks is going to be a big option for them to actually kill this Alchemist. If they can kill the Alch, they can threaten the high ground here with Chen.
Paparazzi's got to be so careful.
They're not the blinks are not here just yet. They're in the courier.
Pull out pipe complete for 11. poking this one, Liquid. Are they going to take the bait? Ori looking to lead forward with the Shadow Blade. They do know the whereabouts of the Nether Ward. Ori still moving forward, see if he can get some sort of a setup. Miracle coming in on the front lines. Ori can't quite find the catch he hoped for there with the Shadow Blade initiation.
Miracle's trying to just throw lances on the Naga to burn the mana down so they can't do the disengage with the Song of the Siren.
Now, they'll look straight towards the Alchemist. They've got the magical damage. Echo Slam comes in for GH, but Paparazzi's still alive. The pipe buying him time to turn. Turns, looks towards Matuma Man. They've taken down the Ursa once. The root's out onto GH Maledix as well. Miracle's chasing down Ori in the sidelines, but the Song comes through. Lanham holding back the side of Liquid, giving VG chance to disengage, get themselves out of there after taking the Aegis out, but Matuma Man wants the fight still going. GH finds the two-man push for Fisher. They've got the slow onto Ori, but they turn. Matuma Man stuck underneath the tower. The root from the Pit of Malice holding him in place. VG will hold against the Aegis push. They remove that Aegis from Matumba, and then they kill him a second time without losing anybody.
I don't think you can ask for a more clutch pipe timing. That pretty much saved the Alchemist from getting bursted down and saved that whole fight from going into disaster for them.
My thrift reward.
Big hold from VICI Gaming, and a hold that become quite familiar to see them being able to pull off. They're very, very good at sort of holding back these early advances that Liquid do like to take. Advances that would definitely work out for Liquid against numerous of the teams that we have here today. But VICI Gaming a step ahead to make sure they can get out of it. And bottom lane, Paparazzi instantly TPs out underneath the nose of Mind Control, knows that there's no cancel. But VICI Gaming proving to be a team that can just keep hold of a game very, very, very controlled.
Yeah, and they weren't aware of those double blinks coming out just yet. That was the first reveal by Liquid. They just had picked it up off the courier. So being able to stop that initial first showing is really important for VG.
Defense, Paparazzi closing in onto the Manta style.
Here's what's happening to Dire's bottom tower.
They have that 2K lead. We'll see something that as time goes on, VICI Gaming will want to feel a more sizable advantage than just 2K. You have this Alchemist. You do expect to be in quite a lead. 2K, not really quite at that point, because obviously as we're seeing Liquid, they're still able to make a lot of plays at this sort of time. Sure, they failed the high ground push, but they can go for these outer tier 2s without too much of a threat of VICI Gaming trying to take them head on.
Just couldn't save that bottom tower.
VICI Gaming just going for the pushes themselves.
They see Paparazzi, they're looking for something here.
Straight on with the Fisher as well, they're locking down.
The Dire best do something.
That's how they do it. Get that instant jump onto the Alchemist. These deep wards from Liquid helping set up those sort of jumps.
They want to take advantage now too. There's no Radiance, there's no Acid Spray. They want to just try to threaten this tower. They have Echo Slam available too. Be careful.
Same time, we've got to remember though, in return, there is that pipe available on 11, so as long as he can get that out, a lot of that initial burst from Liquid going to be negated.
They're losing their tower though. Now Shrines can be threatened as well as the Rax.
This is early timing, 18 minutes to breaking the base. That's what Liquid wanted. We'll see if they do want to poke for more. They are still hanging around. As you said, they have those ultimates. They've got that Echo Slam. Miracle just going on the front lines. Can VG actually get him off the racks without their Alchemist? They try with the pit. Matuma jumps in on the side. The Fisher setup from GH, allowing him to immediately take down the Witch Doctor. They turn towards the DK. There's GH with the Echo Slam, but the sleep comes out. Puts a halt to the advances. Paparazzi's back in. He's cooking up the concoction. He's looking for the stun straight onto the Pugna, but Pugna will be able to force himself to the side, splitting up the stun, making sure that his team doesn't get held down. They've got the Celtic decrepify. Mind Control will be safe. They're looking to beat down the Underlord. They'll get him. He can't rift out in time.
Mind Control's still alive.
In the sideline. The heals from Mind Control as he drains Lanham's life. Liquid, they've found two. The offensive going very well here for Liquid. As VICI Gaming, did they go an Alchemist pick too far with their draft? Can they hold this game? Miracle, ready to lead back in. They've got the creeps from Kuro. Straight away, looking to lead in onto the DK, keeping Ori at bay. Timmerman goes in, these racks falling very low. They've got to do something quick, but they don't have the song. Fisher comes down to 2. Lanham looking for the net setup, finds Mind Control.
Talk about the disengage now.
They're surrounding him. Paparazzi's coming in as well. The Death Ward is down. Mind Control tries for the TP out. Have they got the stun? They have. Holding him in place. They should be able to find at least the Pugna. And they do, but the rest of Liquid's out of there.
That's massive there for Liquid though. Being able to just do that aggression through the Naga sleep, through getting 3 hero pitted, 3-man Firestorm. just having this extra sustain and mind control surviving during that entire initial engagement, getting positioned there on the side there, is what allows them to actually brute force that Rax.
I mean, this is the thing really about VICI's lineup. They don't really have a lot of magical bursts, so that self-decrepify causes a lot of issues when being used defensively in these team fights by Monkstrel. As you say, being able to claim this full set of racks, 320 minutes, Liquid definitely being able to play the pace of game they'd hoped to with their lineup.
And the positioning there by GH too, with the fissures, with him and Matu, the way they coordinate their stuns into instantly blowing up a target really lets them just push that advantage, because they pretty much are essentially fighting a 4v5 at the start because Fenrir dies right away. But watching GH, the same thing in the last game. He was so crucial and so important with those stomps to counteract everything that VICI was doing. Again now on the Earthshaker, he's the same.
They are continuing to build up those auras though. 11 now with a full mechanism as well as the pipe. We've seen already how much the pipe can do, especially against sort of GH's jumps with the Echo Slam to help slow down Liquid.
Their Dragon Knight is falling a little bit behind. He's got the BKB and Q, but you can see compared to the Phantom Lancer, he's about 3k behind, and the Pugna and Ursa are just slightly ahead as well. Pretty much this Alchemist being that big carry for his team.
Miracle.
Manta finished.
Yeah, they got Manta on both now.
Yeah.
Miracle and Paparazzi. Bit of a smoke up from VG, seeing if they could catch out Miracle as he pushes out this top lane, but Miracle playing it safe, already backed right up and will TP himself out of that top lane, so VG Gaming will be unable to find that catch and punish Miracle.
VG really needs the BKB on the Dragon Knight for them, those fights. It's the same. It's almost similar on the side of Liquid, where if once they get the BKBs on both the Pugna as well as that Ursa, then they can really start to just claim that advantage. Because if you look at VICI's lineup, they're full magic damage oriented. The only real right click is coming up. It's not great, but it's like the Dragon Knight and the Alchemist. These heroes aren't really those traditional right clickers.
I mean, it really feels like, as you said, sure they're full magic, but even the magic's not great. There just isn't really that much damage coming out of VICI Gaming's lineup.
Yeah.
It's a lot of tank, it's a lot of self-sustain. They're very good at sort of getting themselves out of the fight, disengaging, but in terms of actually just blowing up one of Liquid's heroes, it's not that easy for VICI Gaming to do.
Yeah, it's also kind of similar to the last time. Sure, they have like the Pit this time around and DK stun, but they don't have those lockdowns, especially for the Phantom Lancer. Between the supports, Naganet and Witch Doctor are not great catches for KB ready. Want to try to press this advantage. They've got Mech as well on Kuroki. They've got a lot more sustain to be able to go for that push. Next big one is going to be that Roche, which has just...
See if they can get their hands on it. Liquid smoking up, looking to take at least a pick before they go into the pit.
Got vision slightly of the high ground here.
Song of the Siren is up for Lanham, so we can look to disengage if the going looks rough for VICI Gaming. Reveal their position now. No, both teams aware of one or the other being in the neighborhood, and looks like Liquid won't be able to get that jump that they hope for. They'll have to back off.
I love how VICI's just always ready to take the fight versus... It's not like they're like, oh, okay, we're just going to back up and send our Alchemist somewhere else to farm. No, they bring all 5 heroes ready to respond when they beat Liquid making those moves. Something Blitz had brought up on the panel was that's what seems to be the success as VICI so far versus this Liquid squad. Is just Liquid squad is... VICI versus the Liquid squad is matching that aggression.
I'll be interested to see what talents Paparazzi continues to get as well on the Alchemist. Does it level 15 take the 400 health? At 20, do you imagine we'll see the cleave, or is the 400 damage too much to pass up on?
400 damage is quite a lot.
But the farm.
But the farm. He might feel like he needs to, but he's not really that right click oriented hero just yet.
They're scouting out the pit this time. But Timmerman won't be able to get away with a free Roche without VG being aware. VG are starting to take position around the pit, but as we said, it is very hard for VG to fight into Liquid's lineup. With this Alchemist, he's not at his timing at the moment. He has to wait for a couple more items really before he's going to be a true sort of threat in these team fights. He is going to try though. They're grouping up. They are going for the smoke play here, VG. Or he's the big damage dealer at the moment. He can get the lead in him, which he might find. But Matuma runs straight in over the fissure. But the 4G comes in with the echo. They're looking to turn. Gives Matuma the chance to pop the BKB. And for Liquid to try and turn this one round. The net comes down to Matuma, but now it wears off. He cuts through ladder. They've lost to on VICI Gaming, but Tumberman will survive 11. He's just looking to try and minimize casualties, take the rest of them out of there, and he will, but oh, Fenrir gets left behind. Jump forward from GH, he's got the block off with the Fisher. GH, that fight there, that jump in, buying time for Matumberman to react, as Matumberman sort of nonchalantly walked into the lineup of VG, but GH said no, we're turning this fight, we're taking it. Matumba, pop your BKB and start hitting the enemy.
He's been so clutch in all these engagements. Just the counter initiation. Did you see that by Miracle in that fight too? He manted and got pushed all the way down to the low ground, but he had such high maledict on himself that he just died when he was getting sent home. Again though, GH coming in clutch. It might actually be that he has to take the 25% this game though. You were mentioning. I do think that he might be forced to do it because of that. He's the only actual right-clicking hero.
Just look at GH straight away, buying that time. Otherwise, Matumberman, he was guaranteed dead. And as you say, they did get the kills, but Miracle does get caught out.
Yeah, he gets caught in, and he gets hit by the maledict as soon as he jumps in. So see, look, they're pinging him out, and look, he gets force-staffed, it looked like, as he manted going down. But the maledict was more than enough. They bail out with a few heroes, but they could get the rush.
Home. Yeah, poor old Fenrir.
The life of a 5.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Mid lane, Liquid, off the back of that, keeping the push heavy, look to take another tier 2 tower, and they'll get it.
They've got Aegis and Cheese now, so they really want to be able to press their advantage. Miracle's queued up the BKB, feeling a bit of pressure under that pit, just getting locked down a bit too much in the fights.
The Octarine, the Radiants are there. Paparazzi continuing to grow to that point where he will be able to shove out multiple lanes, really keep the split pressure on against Liquid. I mean, are Liquid going to be able to deal with that sort of pressure once he does have sort of these constant side lanes being shoved in against them, or do Liquid have to group up and go as a 5? Because I'm looking at some of their heroes, they haven't really got the best individual heroes to deal with sort of this Radiant's illusion push.
Pugna can at one point if he does go for the Aghanims build, but I don't think that that's the plan that Liquid wants to do. I think they want to be able to close this game out on their a couple of next big items when they've got the BKB on the Phantom Lancer, when he gets maybe one more. But I think they really do want to press the advantage with that Aegis Cheese. I don't think they want this to get to the point where Alchemist just split pushes forever and gets way too much farm.
Because this is the thing, I mean, I'm sure, you know, if you're Liquid, you're probably looking at this Alchemist. They don't see it a lot. And they probably don't know the exact plan, but they know that there is a Alchemist, but no! They didn't get a range of him! What is this taxi service? Every time, people getting left behind! Fenrir again! That's the last time he uses that service! And then you lose 2, maybe even more! Ori getting forced back to base! These rifts just haven't been great enough for VG. Paparazzi having to buy back.
GH again coming in super clutch there, and also Matumberman's BKB usage there. Paparazzi starts charging the stun, trying to run away from him. Matu pops BKB, Paparazzi stuns himself, and he's able to clean him up on the sidelines there during that whole fight.
Now there's tier 3 getting pressured. Ori, the Shadow Blade, maybe see if we can get a lead in. But it's scary. Liquid, they've got the full 5-man. Miracle will get gone on. They get the first stun. Do they have the control? Matumberman jumps in straight away. Looks towards Paparazzi. GH there with the control. Fish is down. With the Pit of Malice holding down Matumberman. He'll lose the Aegis.
Miracle got sent home.
Can they get Matumberman a second time? The concoction is going to be a long one. He's stunned down for a very long time. Matumberman's gone. Net out on Takuro. They'll be able to find the Chen as well. VICI Gaming will put a stop to that push attempt from Liquid.
Ori able to find the real PL there. Kuroki got a bit scared there. He actually just sent home Miracle during his BKB, and they had to instantly disengage from the fight. Losing a very costly Aegis and Matu. Still a 4K lead for Liquid. VICI showing they can still take these fights, and Paparazzi just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
He does.
But I'm really curious if he does take the cleave down.
I think he's going to take the damage.
I think he would, just because he's versus a PL. He wants to protect.
Because the cleave, you don't get it on the illusions.
Of course not.
Just for yourself. If you did, it would be a no-brainer. So we'll see. 25%, you know. But you're right.
He takes the concoction damage.
Yeah, he takes the concoction.
It's too much damage.
It really is. 400.
I thought maybe he would change it because he's versus the PL, but...
Sure, that could have been an argument. But he's already got Waste Cupper again. We'll see this fight again around this mid lane. And as you say, GH coming on the back line to disrupt it. And I guess the Underlord just couldn't get in range of that Alchemist to take him home.
Look at Matumba in the top there of the fight. You can't really see it so much here, but with that BKB, he's able to isolate Paparazzi in 11. He can't get it.
And that would have been the big save, because as we saw, Paparazzi was forced to expend his buyback because he wasn't saved in that situation. 11 just couldn't quite get there to him.
So 6-second cooldown on Unstable Concoction with 800 max damage. That could prove to be some...
What's he going for next? Just that Shiva's Guard. About 1,500 gold and the Alchemist will have it. And then at the level 25, what do you even take? I can't remember the last time I saw a level 25 Alchemist. The regen sounds pretty good. I guess it depends how you want to play. If you do want to transition into sort of a right clicker, but if he's not taking the cleave, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't take the base attack.
I think he might just want to be the survivable with the build that he's been going for too.
It's a lot of regen. That's what, 86 health regen then when you pop that ult.
Quite a lot, yeah. Won't be a game changer. It's going to be all through plays in this game.
They really need that Dragon Knight to pack a punch, but as it is, Ori just building fully for the initiation. For the Shadow Blade into the Blink Dagger.
I do feel like they need him to be that level 18 in particular. Having that level 3 Blue Dragon for them to slow and be able to splash down those PLs is going to be really useful for them.
They are holding on VICI Gaming, but as we keep saying, you never want to be behind a net worth if you're an Alchemist lineup, and that is where Liquid have been constantly able to keep VICI. Liquid have that lead, 4K at the moment. Miracle continuing to get bigger and bigger as he has pretty much got the money for the completed Skadi.
They're keeping all the lanes pushed into, so it's forcing VICI to assess those. Every time they go for these smoke movements, Liquid does know. They see bottom, nobody's there. They see top illusions are pushing out. They assume that VICI smoke. They're positioning themselves on the high ground again. Full Skadi now, as well as the cheese on Miracle.
Tricky PL. Shiva's Guard as well finished actually for mind control. Both teams, their own share of that. Very intrigued to see what Paparazzi does queue up next. I mean, is it a game where there's any sort of agonyms you can get for his teammates that change the game? I don't think it is really. There's not any sort of amazing one.
Naga Axe is always pretty nice. That reset for the heal, it's nice. It's not going to add anything to damage to their lineup, which they're still lacking a bit.
Maybe he even gets to the point where he starts sort of shoveling out Moonshards to his Dragon Knight. That alongside his level 3 out of Dragon Form, once he does hit that 18, will be quite a boost up to his damage.
He's going to have to go for the beak.
Really does want to be that frontliner in these fights.
It's really hard for them to actually bring down the Alk and the DK because they're still pretty tanky. It's mostly up to the Ursa, but now Miracle does have Eye of Skadi, so he's actually able to close the gap and chase those big tanky cores.
Ori with the lead in, pops the outer Dragon Form, looking to close the gap with the Shadow Blade. Who can he find? He's got his eyes on Miracle. Is he going to go for the right one? There's only one up at the moment, but the dodge instantly with the Manta style. Miracle's out of there. He's prepared for that Dragon Tail stun. He'll get himself away. GH still around. The Shadow Amulet. BG will continue to hunt slightly, but looks like GH will be fine.
Mind Control is just going to force in the mid lane. Try to make them take a different fight. Try to make them respond to mid as well as take the engagement. Now Miracle's leading the way.
He is. Prolock onto 11. Straight away jumps in. Onto the Underlord, the double gang as well. 11 pretty much out of mana. They try for the concoction, but Miracle's popped the BKB. On the backlines as well, pops his own BKB, but the Hand of God comes out. Liquid back up to full health. Lanham has to be careful. They are going to go for the rift out. VG realizing they cannot take this fight. They'll get themselves out of there, back to base. But once again, Fenrir, I don't think we've seen him join a single rift. He's been either dying or left behind every time. It's the sad life of a witch doctor.
Hard witch doctor. Versus a PL, he's not going to have a lot of fun in this game.
See what they can do in terms of a defense, VG. And so far, I can only feel that
they're getting out-resourced.
Yeah. These lanes just being shoved in heavily. And it really does feel like with this game, if anything, is sort of a demonstration of why we just don't see Alchemist played. Because you've got to ask yourself, what has it done this game? And I think your silence is pretty much the right answer.
He's been tacking up. It really hurts just because of how behind Ori is on the Dragon Knight. So he's really their only kind of damage besides the Underlord with the Firestone, which is percent-based. And now third Roshan spawns to make their way in. That's a refresher shard too.
VG are getting here anywhere close enough to contest this. I mean, Ori's trying to move across. Is he actually going to head towards the pit? That's the question already. GH is positioned, ready to block off any sort of attempt. And of course, with an Ursa on their lineup, Roshan melts. It's gone. time being. They'll hold the refresher shard on Matsumaman. Double Enrage. But that Aghanims, especially in with the BKB, makes this target very hard to bring down.
I think you give that one to GH. Yeah, he just passed it off.
Oh,
GH, especially
the double slam.
Just getting double fissures, double slams, all that control for his team to do the damage in the lineup.
And honestly, that shard is the absolute dream for a Shaker. Because sure, it's always fun when you see the refresher plays, but you're a Shaker. Your mana pool ain't great. At least with the shard not costing any mana, you've at least got the chance to get out that full double combo.
They're about to have Butterfly finish now on Miracle too. The 3 cores on the side of Liquid are just keeping that farm up while seems like both the Underlord, 11, and Ori, their farm has stagnated completely. It's just the Alchemist getting more and more gold, and his teammates just kind of stuck in the base, unable to farm anything.
Shadow Blade's there, of course, for GH as well to help him close the gap. He's got all the tools to position himself. Force, Blink, and Shadow Blade. So you can bet yourself that we are very likely to see something incredible from GH.
They got DD now on Miracle. They're looking to go. They've got their lanes in a great position too. This is the fight Liquid's looking for.
Despair. Pretty much invincible, as we said. Low cooldown on the Enrage. Jump forward from Ori. Will go for the stun, but there's double damage on the PL. They do have to lock down with the second stun. Have they got anything further? Vicci comes down onto Paparazzi. There's the jump. Goes in with the first Echo Slam. With the Meteor Hammer down. The concoction as well. Paparazzi. They have been able to take down this Earthshaker. The Death Ward as well. Beating into Liquid. Forcing them back. Matsumaman. He swallows the Gorgonzola. But there's trouble for the PL. Miracle's falling low. He's going to go down. They pop the Aegis. VICI. They're somehow doing it. They've got the stun onto Matsumaman. He pops the Enrage with the card. Bouncing between himself and Kuro, holds him down. Matsumaman will fall. Another concoction onto Kuroki. VICI Gaming. They're holding against this Aegis cheese push. They're perfect lockdown from hero to hero. Honestly, with this lineup, I feel like they could have given themselves a harder lineup to pull these sort of fights off, but they are doing it. They're showing off here.
Look at the Alchemist's damage in the fight. He's pretty much everything for them. He's got,
oh my goodness.
He got 6 unstable concoctions off.
Well, that's what the Alchemist does. VICI Gaming say, in response to my question earlier.
Yeah, just they kept the fight also around the Pit of Malice. So as soon as those BKBs wear off on Liquid, they just started getting chain pitted. And they're still having trouble. They are having trouble actually focusing fire and burning somebody down because of all those auras like you were mentioning earlier. The Atrophy aura starts building up, as well as the Greaves and the Pipe. Even versus a PL who's this stacked.
And as we say, you know, we've got to remember that with that damage, it is a lot of damage from the concoction. That's an 800 physical damage you can max charge on a 6-second cooldown. So you are getting easily 2 of those out each fight. Mid lane, the push comes through. The tier 1 falling low thanks to the Meteor Hammer. They'll get it. Mind Control will get the deny. More defensive items coming out for 11. He's got the Crimson Guard. VICI Gaming, could it be that their plan of action with this Alchemist pick is starting to unfold? We're starting to see what sort of potential it can hold in these defenses against Liquid.
They're starting to get that farm too on their other cores that they really desperately need. The Maelstrom's almost finished up on Ori. Level 18 now too, so he's got that level 3 dragon form.
A right click, sorely needed. He's getting there. That Dragon Knight. The Ags, they're beginning to be built here by Paparazzi. He's got his first one queued up. As we said, where's it going to go? That last fight, the Death Ward looked pretty nice from Fenrir. I feel like he's been a bit of a forgotten man, as we've said with the Rift plays. You got to give this Witch Doctor some love. But do you think it'll be more likely to be the Naga?
Naga or Underlord? Because Underlord's also is pretty decent.
Sure.
If he can survive throughout the whole fights, your Atrophy aura starts to build up a lot on your teammates. You get a lot of bonus damage with killing heroes. Paparazzi just on Bounty Rune collection. He's got the first Aghanims when he wants to get up. He wants to save for buyback though.
Understandable, because Liquid, they are looking to knock on the doorsteps once again as they come down mid. They do still have a cheese on Mind Control, and they do still have the Refresher Shard on GH. 40 minutes in, ready to try and look for that second Rax. Paparazzi for the opening with the concoction. Quick doppelganger from Miracle keeps him safe. Doing their best to clear out the waves here with the acid spray, the breathe fire, the radiance.
They've got such good high ground defense with all the spam. kind of feels like they just got to keep farming some more. Bigger net worth advantage until they can see a perfect jump from GH with that refresher shard. Smoke comes out, VICI.
For the opening. Miracle quick with the doppelganger. Ori coming in. They have managed to find the real one, and he's got the lockdown. Jumps in with the Dragon Tail. GH is there with the Fisher, but the BKB is already out from Ori. Miracle pops his own BKB, keeps the distance. Mutumama with his BKB tries to prioritize Ori, but the Glimmer Cape comes out, keeping Ori safe. Now he turns the Dragon Tail onto Miracle. Miracle's gone. They've got him. They've taken down the PL. They're jumping, trying to chase for Mutumama. Mutumama, can he keep the distance here? Paparazzi's got Concoction, throws it out. That range, but the blink is there. Mutumama jumps up, but he can't be disjointed. They'll continue to try and chase, but the stun time not too long, as he was unable to fully charge it up, but still, that's the Phantom Lancer gone. Miracle dead for 80 seconds. They'll take the courier, and VICI Gaming, they're now the ones pushing. They're the ones on your tier 2, and they are looking for more.
With these 3 tanky cores, it does seem like it's just so hard for Liquid to actually focus fire anyone down. As soon as they get their BKBs up with this high armor.
And now they're on the high ground, but the fishing block comes out. Paparazzi's been separating, but Mutumama enrages himself out of the pit. VICI Gaming prioritizing the towers here. Fortification comes out from Liquid.
They're trying to force this buyback.
Mind control. Be a little careful if they get the grab, and they do. Ori jumps in with the Dragon Tail. First Fisher comes out for GH. Jump forward to the man. Looking towards Ori, but the BKB comes out. They're trying to move themselves out of this one. The route through the BKB, holding back Mind Control. He can't chase, but Superman's trying. The Rift is going to be out of there to get everyone out. So they'll back up. They'll retreat, VICI Gaming.
As soon as their BKBs go down, they start being very careful, because that's where GH was sitting in the back lines waiting to find the Echo Slam.
I think there as well, we saw GH try for the force play on Paparazzi. Was trying to get Paparazzi out of range of the Rift, but couldn't quite force him far enough. And here's that Axe. Let's see where it goes then, Fog. Who is he going to go and give that one to? Keep it on himself for now. We'll see who gets a bit of the old Paparazzi love. He is also closing in on that 25, so we'll see what he takes there.
Paparazzi's done 40% of his team's damage.
That's crazy. There's the power, just constantly having these Radiance Illusions split up.
It is to Fenrir.
It is.
Right.
Oh, some love for the Witch Doctor. I'm happy with that one. Fenrir, he's been having a bit of a rough one. A lot of hate going his way, but now he finally feels the warm, acidic love of the Alchemist.
Works really well, too, versus the Phantom Lancer, because it gives True Strike, so he can clear out those illusions pretty nicely, even if they have the Butterfly.
Right. Ori. The Shadow Blade, he's looking for Miracle, he's trying to find the real one. Is he going to get the call right? No, Doppelganger's out. Miracle will be able to back up. Jump forward though. No, he still found him. He gets in, Mutumama there, the Fisher from GH, disrupting the follow-up for VICI. They'll try with the Concoction. But already Mutumama getting out of there. Miracle does get sent home. That Concoction will still be delivered straight to his head. But they do manage to get out of there. Making the space though around the pit. Roshan will be up in a couple of minutes.
Just seems so hard for Liquid to bring down any of these tanky cores, especially when they've got their BKBs on. The Phantom Lancer does not deal that big damage when he's standing inside of the Atrophy Aura at all times.
Absolutely, yeah, this Atrophy Aura, the combination with that, the Crimson Guard, the Greaves, the Pipe, this sort of, the Underlord pick, making absolute sense in this context. And again, another one of those heroes that does get questioned quite a few times. We see it come up, but we're seeing 11 push it to the max this game. Start Paparazzi back to a bit of shopping for himself before the next Axe comes through. Gets himself a nice new pair of shoes as he upgrades to the bots too.
Found himself an Arcane Rune during all that too, so he's going to be able to keep that Chemical Rage active. And now, speaking of tanky cores, they just became even tankier. 37 armor on the Dragon Knight.
Which we're seeing with that Maelstrom. He's doing damage in these fights, sorry, as you mentioned. That Elder Dragon form level 3, the Maelstrom, once he has the Mjolnir, this PL is going to have a very tough time in these fights. Miracle's illusions will get quickly farmed through. But as we can see, definitely still worth to know how well Miracle is farming. I mean, he's 3k behind an Alchemist. He's on 30k net worth for 45 minutes. Like, that is, again, some pretty insane farm on this PL. We'll see what he goes for next with his itemization. He does have 6k saved up at the moment, Miracle.
I'm wondering if we're going to see Nullifier plays play.
Now, Paparazzi, let's you back up to the Aghanims. See who gets a bit of the love next.
Roche is up very soon, 14 seconds.
this game. Certainly panning out to be the game 3 that we hope for. As at this stage, still 46 minutes in, very hard to call. But if anything, the sort of slow swing around back in favor of VICI Gaming has to be incredibly worrying for Liquid. We're into the pit, Liquid. VICI Gaming fully aware. Can they go in and try for the disrupt? Can they try for the steal play? Paparazzi TPing over. He's ready to join the gang. See, they've got the Fisher coming out. 11 just heading straight into the pit. And because of how big and tanky these heroes are, Liquid are sort of heading out to the side. The manner of 11 getting burnt down by these illusions.
He's down to only 140. He's got so many greats.
He's found much on man on the side, but immediately the enrage there to remove the stun. Paparazzi coming in for the side, has the concoction. Second stun holds back this Ursa. They'll move forward, trying to focus Miracle. Miracle's trying to finish off Ori. They can't bounce down. There's the Devil Ferret doing so much damage here onto Miracle, but the Echo Step goes out for GH. They're trying for the turn. There'll be a buyback from Ori. Can they turn this one around? Liquid moving forward. Paparazzi being surrounded. Mind control, healing up Miracle there with the life drain. They've got the concoction. Paparazzi, can he find this setup? Miracle with the doppelganger up to the high ground, will get away. They'll turn for mind control. Mind control also buying back into this one. Paparazzi, he can still see Miracle moving off to the side. He'll turn for the easy kill. Look for Kuroki, but the Timberman jumps in. Paparazzi pulls the man to stop, trying to keep the distance. Kuroki being kept alive by the defensive Death Grab fight, but the stun comes in. Unstable concoction from Paparazzi finishes off the job. Miracle falling very low. Mind control's got to be careful. He brought back for this fight. Tries for the man to stun dodge, but he's not there. Miracle gets stunned by the concoction. Liquid have lost 2. There'll be a buyback now coming through from Lanham. BG wanting to maintain control around this pit. As these fights getting thicker and faster, these buybacks coming through. Miracle as well knows that they have to make sure that they get this Roshan.
The ongoing fights, the Chemical Rage just comes back online, and there's just so much sustain coming out on the side of VICI. They're unable to actually bring these heroes down easily.
Absolutely. I mean,
they have to commit so much to just bring down a Dragon Knight.
We saw him hit that 25. He does indeed take that extra regeneration on the Chemical Rage. So he is a huge issue on the front lines of these fights, Paparazzi.
And he's got another Aghanims now.
Who's he going to?
This one, I'd imagine.
Invisibility.
Or the Underlord, though. So that Atrophy Aura bonus is going to come out here when they take the fights. So if he's able to survive throughout most of those engagements and they take out a few heroes, that bonus damage, quite nice.
Radiant's mid tower.
Yeah, that's certainly going to solve any sort of damage issues that VICI Gaming once had. I mean, as we're seeing now, they don't have those problems.
I've never gotten to witness that Aghanim in the pro game.
No, never seen this Ag. So, of course, as you were saying, if anyone's unaware, to branch the bonus damage, half of the bonus damage, but to all your allies. And as we've seen here, it racks up pretty high, to sort of in the hundreds sometimes. 100 and such for 11. So having a plus 50 on every hero in the fight, it really is quite something. Mid lane, they get the instant stun. Miracle needs backup and he needs it straight away. Has the doppelganger down to the low ground. Meteor Hammer won't quite be able to catch him. There's still these fights where both teams a little too scared to enter into the pit. Roshan still stands there for the taking. GH goes for the jump in with Timberman there as well. They're focusing this Underlord. Can they kill him in time? He has the Crimson Guard. He has the backup. Fenrir there with the Death Ward as well. BKB's around for Liquid. Can they kill 11? He's falling solo. Miracle jumps forward with the doppelganger, but they've lost for Timberman. 11 just walking up. There goes slam for GH, but it's not enough. The pipe's out. The damage resistance from VICI is too high. Nobody is dying on VICI Gaming. They're just too damn tanky. 2 buybacks coming out from Liquid. They're going to go for a second round of this one. On the backlines, Miracle bringing the banner. Straight on VICI Gaming started with the stun. Comes through for Paparazzi. He's found the real one. As she comes through, stopping the concoction coming out straight away. Paparazzi will still throw it, but the setback's there. Miracle's back to base. The creeps, they are doing it. Fortification has to come out from VICI Gaming, and they will start sending members back. Paparazzi's there with the D push.
They're just too damn tanky in these fights, and now with all this Atrophy Aura built up, they can go into the Roche. This Dragon Knight's hitting for 450 now.
Oh my goodness. The Ag certainly doing big things. Will wear off now though. So VICI Gaming still, despite taking these sort of fights where Liquid are having to spend multiple buybacks just to sort of, I mean, try and stay even, but I say that each fight absolutely going VICI Gaming's way. They're now at a 15k gold lead. It's getting bigger and bigger. GH has to be careful. Look at that fall off from Liquid.
The cores just feel far too tanky. The Atrophy Aura building it, they don't have that sheer right click. It's only the PL now. Matu just keeps getting controlled.
And another Aghanims. You get an Ags, you get an Ags, you get an Ags. Everybody getting an Aghanims. Right, actually, did he sell it? Because he was giving it to.
Did it die in the courier?
Oh,
I think it died in the courier.
It died in the courier. All right, he'll get it soon. Fine, in a couple of minutes. VICI Gaming, now they themselves go in towards the pit. But look at this actually towards mid. Liquid are seeing if they could try and find someone coming out. I don't think they're aware that VICI Gaming are fully committing for this Roche. And VICI Gaming, they're going to fully get away with it. Aegis, G's, and Refresher Shards into the hands of VICI Gaming.
Dragons live forever.
It almost feels like Liquid has to kill the Underlord in these fights, but they just can't. He's far too tanky.
And it almost feels as well, we knew that Liquid, they wanted to end this game.
They did.
And to be fair, because we haven't seen an Alchemist in a while, I didn't really know quite what to expect once we got to this sort of 45-minute plus mark. But this, it's bringing back memories. It's bringing back memories to the point where it's sort of like you're playing against a hero that you just can't beat. It seems almost impossible for Liquid. Can they achieve the impossible in this game? It's going to be quite something. They can go for these huge outplays. They could try for this split push, as we've seen. They have been able to shove creep waves countless times up to the barracks of VICI Gaming. But these head-on fights are becoming nigh on impossible.
Yep. The Ursa is just getting kited way too hard in the fights, unable to actually focus fire anybody. And the long, drawn-out engagements for VICI, they've got an Alchemist with like 150 HP per second inside of the fights. And an Underlord who does not die. It's just getting tougher and tougher, it seems, for Liquid.
Nullifier nearly there for Matumba Man.
That could be the key for them to just isolate a target.
Absolutely. I think, you know, as we've seen, they've wanted to go on 11 each and every time. But these three sort of, all these active items that he has, causing so many issues. If they can take the Underlord out of the fight, they can have a chance. But they need that Nullifier on Matumba. And he's still, he's got the gold for it now. And he's picked it up, so there it is. But now they really do have to rely on perfect execution from Liquid. They have to get the right target to target. Otherwise, they won't stand much of a chance at all. Top lane keeps getting forced in. Paparazzi is there with the hold.
Illusion versus illusion battle.
These towers slowly taking harassment for these illusions. Mind Control actually terrified there, goes for the BKB TP out. Worried that the hunt could have been on, and he's sort of stunned from either Paparazzi or Ori. Could have put an end to that sort of push.
Seconds till the courier respawns, then that Aghanim's delivered.
And I like this as well. Look at 11.
He's ready for the fights.
He's bringing the mangoes out. Or did he just sell them? Oh, he sold them.
No, they're in stash.
Oh, no, they're in stash. Okay, he's stashing them up. Those sort of crucial mangoes, as we've seen. In these fights, the illusions from the PL certainly do cause issues. Those mangoes will be the cure for that.
Paparazzi can start even giving moon shards.
Oh, they know Mind Control's there. He's revealed his position there as he goes for the blast onto the wave. They've got vision on him. Paparazzi gets born in as well. Mind Control's surrounded. He does not have buyback. Down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, 50 seconds, no buyback. And instantly Miracle just starts pushing out the waves. See the lines even drawn by Mind Control. Push out the other two side waves.
One of those games. It's going to be one of those 60-minute games.
I mean, it still just feels harder and harder for Liquid to take the fights. They just feel like they have no damage now versus this Underlord.
Dire's top ranks is taking hits.
And now the DK is starting to actually become that heavy right clicker. About to level 25. Pretty much got Mjolnir finished up. We can assume a Moonshard's going to be given at any moment as well. All coming out.
Certainly are. All the cores are going to be hitting that for sure this game. And VG moving down the middle lane. How can Liquid put a hold to this? Ori on the front line. The buyback will now come out. As it does come back off cooldown, as you say, for Mind Control. Will force VG to hesitate for at least a moment.
They've got their lanes being taken care of, though, from Paparazzi. What's he going to spend on? One moon shard, takes it himself, and he's satisfied.
Oh, they try for the stun. It's going to be the illusion, so Miracle fine for now. Back up to the high ground. VG ready to push. Paparazzi hasn't got the chance, actually, to give out that Aghanims he has. We'll now swap it forward and as you say, we will imagine that does go the way of Lanham, and you can see Lanham there says, give me that axe, there we have it. So you got the axe on Naga as well now. Mid-lane push comes in, but Tumberman tries to jump onto Ori, but the Fisher keeping them the wrong side of one another. They find the concoction onto Tumberman in rage, backs off, will be able to save himself from most of the damage. Deathwalk gets laid down, but they're keeping the distance. Ori just man fighting at the front, trying to finish off these racks. The fortification comes through, the nullifier out to Ori, but there's the song with the Aghanim's heal. Look at this health on this DK. Ori just straight back up to 2/3. Now they're jumping again. Miracle trying to commit, but the rift comes through. 11 is ready to say that. I know he says we can stick around, but that might have cost them. They've lost the wisdom to NGH. Comes in with the Echo Slam. The Dragon Knight getting so low. Can they kill Ori off? Ori's still alive. They will fight it with a blast. They've taken down the Dragon Knight. Can they get more? Paparazzi looking towards Miracle. Miracle does get stunned up. They're chasing for the Decrep. The life drain from Mind Control gets cancelled immediately by the Concoction. Buyback coming through from Ori. Ori wants to get himself back into this engagement. Concoction being charged up once again by Paparazzi. Turns towards Mind Control, holds him down. Mind Control falling low. They've lost the Ursa for 2 minutes. Buyback from Naga Siren. Miracle will buy back. The creeps down bottom are knocking onto the tier 4 towers, but the Naga Siren, Lanham's there with the defense. The rest of VICI Gaming can look to go in and finish off these objectives. They'll get the melee racks mid. No Ursa for 100, no GH Shaker for 50 seconds.
The Aegis timed out mid-fight there on Ori. Otherwise, he could have actually survived a bit longer, but it doesn't matter. They know that the Earthshaker's dead. They know that the Ursa's down for 90 as well. They can go for the second set.
They absolutely can. Look at the damage coming out from these 3 beefy boys. Look at the stun out. They're trying, but Miracle is caught in the center of it all. The BKB's out from Ori. There's the buyback, but Tumberman has the buyback now. Available. The sandbags there from Kuro, but it will cost him his life. Kuro has been shoved to grab right now. Mind Control. Finds time for the save, but Tumberman jumps in the midst of it all. Gets the nullifier out to 11, but Ori's back from the Shadow Blade. Turns towards the Smith. Tumberman has the stun. Gets the kill. Kuro will buy back, but they've now lost. But Tumberman off the back of a dieback. Miracle goes on to this Alchemist. The life drains enough. They'll get the Alchemist, but buyback immediately from Paparazzi. The song from Lanham, holding them in place. Mind Control gets the BKB on. Miracle trying to get himself back to base for the stuns. Holding down this BL at 4-star. Kuro gets him back into safety. The Fisher out onto 2. Kuro dying in the fountain here from Paparazzi. He dives in. They've lost 3, but Miracle is going for the base race. He's onto the tier 4. Surely he can't do it in time though. The speed that VICI Gaming is taking this base is surely too much for Liquid. Miracle will find the tier 4s, but the base of Liquid's falling. GH is going in for the plate for the quick. That smooth Dragon Tail as Ori steps up, gets the game. VICI Gaming will be your first grand finalist here at ESL 1 Katowice.
At the end of the fight there, they're hitting the throne and everybody has plus 200 damage because that Aghanim's Underlord. He had plus 395 on himself, so everybody else has plus about 190. Oh my god, I can't believe that